H&L Rapid True Value for building supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is
Nationwide time, 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robian Williams.
In Nationwide News at this hour, questions swirling at Sea-Talk after cocaine seized from policemen was found stashed in unapproved storage.
The discovery has prompted the commissioner to remove the firearms and narcotics unit from Sea-Talk.
Daughter killed and mother injured in daring gun attack in Patrick City this morning.
JPS warning citizens against paying money to unscrupulous individuals to have their power restored.
Christmas backlog causing severe congestion at the nation's ports.
In news from the rest of the world, Trinidad to begin registration of undocumented migrants next week.
U.S. completes withdrawal from World Health Organization.
In sports, 4 Jamaicans down for action at New Balance Invitational in Boston on Saturday.
And later in our broadcast, in the cover story at 5:35, the Education Minister, Senator Dana Morris Dixon, says early childhood and private institutions will benefit from grants under the ministry's Rapid Resumption Grant following the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa. The minister will join us.
In public opinion at 6:26, we ask, should children be compelled to drink tea before leaving for school? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio, and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90FM.
In the nation's business at 6:40, a recent survey done in the United Kingdom found that nearly a third of children starting school are swiping books. They're mimicking the actions they take when using a tablet. Is too much screen time affecting the development of our children? We'll hear from former chairman of the Early Childhood Commission, Professor Maureen Sams-Vaughan, and professor at the School of Education at UWI Mona, Zoya Kincaid Clark.
And at 8, it's the A-Team with Dennis Brooks.
All these and more as we take you home on air on your mobile Nationwide 90 FM, RevaNews.ai, and on the Reva News app, available on the Google Play and the App Store. This Friday afternoon, Friday, January 23, 2026.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
And now to the details. Nationwide News understands that investigators found 2 parcels of cocaine stashed away inside the stores at the headquarters of the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, CTOC, which is located at 45 East Queen Street in downtown Kingston. It's understood the discovery of the cocaine forms part of the ongoing investigation by the police into the arrest and charge of one of their own, Detective Inspector Martin Walker, for possession of a quantity of cocaine during an intelligence-led operation on Thursday, January 4 this year. We have more in this report from George Davis.
Nationwide News understands that the arrest and the charge of Detective Inspector Martin Walker for possession of cocaine is just a part of a wide-ranging investigation being conducted by the police. Detective Inspector Walker was accosted by police attached to the Firearms and the Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, on Moore Street, Kingston 4, on January 8 this year. In that incident, Detective Inspector Walker, who was assigned to administrative duties at CTOC, was found to have $3.5 million worth of cocaine weighing in at just under 6 pounds stuffed in a plastic bag inside his motor vehicle. The 51-year-old lawman remains behind bars as he faces charges of possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, trafficking cocaine, and conspiracy. Shortly after his arrest 19 days ago, the head of the JCF's crime portfolio, Deputy Commissioner Richard Stewart, ordered an audit of the stores at CTOC's headquarters in Kingston. During the audit, 2 parcels of cocaine were found inside the store's area. So, what's the problem with that? Well, according to the structure of the JCF, contraband such as cocaine is only kept at the offices of FNID. In other words, cocaine being held by the police as part of an investigation or an ongoing court matter must not be stored anywhere other than at the FNID office. There is, though, a direct relationship between FNID and CTOC. CTOC is a branch of the JCF, while FNID is a division under the CTOC umbrella. Still, the lines of demarcation are clear. CTOC is not authorized to store cocaine being held by the JCF. Meanwhile, consequent upon the discovery of the cocaine at CTOC, it's understood Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has ordered that FNIT be removed from under the CTOC umbrella to facilitate the ongoing probe into the activities of Detective Inspector Martin Walker. George Davis for Nationwide News.
The police are investigating a shooting incident which left a woman dead and her mother nursing gunshot wounds. The incident occurred in Patrick City, Kingston on Friday. Dead is 26-year-old Maya Ashley of Patrick City, Kingston. It's understood the injured woman's husband is being sought in relation to the shooting. Reports are that Ashley went to the Norman Manley International Airport to pick up her mother, who had arrived in the island earlier in the day. It's understood that while Ashley and her mom were on their way home, they were pounced upon and shot multiple times. Ashley, who was the driver, drove off to escape the gunmen and crashed into a perimeter fence. Thereafter, the police were alerted, and when the team arrived on scene, both women were removed from the crashed vehicle. They were rushed to the Kingston Public Hospital, KPH, where Ashley was pronounced dead and her mother is undergoing treatment. Ashley received gunshot wounds to her upper body and her mom was shot in the upper body and face.
Early childhood and private institutions are set to benefit from a preliminary $31 million allocation from the Education Ministry's Rapid Resumption Grant following Hurricane Melissa. The announcement was made by Portfolio Minister Senator Dana Morris Dixon during today's sitting of the Senate.
And so when we looked at the data that was there, it became clear, Mr. President, that despite the fact that these are not public institutions, that support should be provided to them. Based on a situational analysis of that sector, I am very pleased to announce an extension of the Rapid Resumption Grant to early childhood institutions and independent schools that have already reported to the Early Childhood Commission and the Ministry of Education.
The Rapid Resumption Grant is a cleanup grant allocated to schools in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. The grant follows a damage assessment carried out by the ministry. Based on the damage sustained, schools are classified as severe, moderate, and mild. The allocations are then made depending on the school's classification. Jamaica's public schools have so far received a total of $616 million from the grant. Minister Morris Dixon says more than 20,000 children in early childhood institutions have been affected by the hurricane.
335 schools, 318 early childhood institutions, and 17 independent private schools have been impacted based on the preliminary assessment of the Early Childhood Commission and the Ministry of Education. So the breakdown thus far, we have 122 severe, 115 moderate, and 81 schools with mild damage. And if we put that in terms of people, that's 24,143 children and 2,313 staff members that have been affected in our early childhood institutions.
Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, the Education Minister.
Meanwhile, Opposition Senator Dr. Maziki Thame is calling for greater clarity on the state of schools still using the rotational method for classes following the hurricane.
I would want to hear more about what exactly it looks like for children to be in school at this time. When should we expect that they have roofs over their heads, that they have water, that they have electricity, and that the conditions are more ideal? We have heard that some schools are in rotational form. What are the specific needs of those schools at this time?
Dr. Maziki Thame, Opposition Senator.
The Jamaica Public Service Company, the JPS, says it has received several reports of individuals seeking to exploit vulnerable customers following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. JPS's Customer Service Area Manager for the East, Ruthlyn Johnson, says there are persons posing as JPS workers and targeting citizens for money.
You have those people who always decide to clear the vulnerabilities that exist at this point in time. And so we have people who are running all kinds of scams. So first we have those who are going around and telling people that you need to pay me to get your thing started, or you need to pay me to get you back on the grid. So we have persons who are pretending to be employees. We have persons who are pretending to be JPS related and associated, and they are actually requesting money for people to get back on the grid. And that is problematic. If that happens, you need to report them. You need to call the police if you can, and you need to report them to us on our lines.
On Friday, JPS signaled that it's ramping up efforts to restore electricity to the remaining 7% of its customers. These efforts include the arrival of another batch of linemen to help in restoration. According to JPS, electricity has been restored to 93% of all customers. Johnson also dismissed claims that the company is offering an investment program for citizens.
There's also a fraudulent news article that is going around and a video that is circulating, especially in the social media space, that is claiming that JPS has launched an investment program for Jamaicans and we're asking persons to invest $40,000. Please, this is completely false. It's a part of a scam. We want people to know, don't fall prey to this scam. Do not take your $40,000 and invest it anywhere. It's better you take that $40,000 if you have such money lying around. Take it and fix up your house.
That's right.
Take it and get yourself ready to receive back your power supplies.
Ruthlyn Johnson, JPS's Customer Service Area Manager for the East.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says staff at the Mandeville Regional Hospital are facing a significant challenge with overcrowding as the facility continues to recover from the impact of Hurricane Melissa. He was speaking at a tour of the hospital on Friday.
So what we have is Mandeville Regional is seen as the rescue center for a number of parishes and populations, which has led to where we are today. And it's good that people know they can seek refuge at an institution, but it places a lot of stress on the staff. So the staff is fatigued because of that. The third reason I should mention is the impact on primary care in those areas where the hurricane hit. Some Jamaicans have not gone to their health clinic as often as they would normally go, and so their conditions get out of control and they end up seeking hospital care.
Dr. Tufton says the issue of overcrowding will take weeks to alleviate. As a result, the minister says work is ongoing to increase bed spaces at the hospital. He added that the ministry has also sought assistance from nearby hospitals to manage the increased traffic at the health facility.
The team are trying their best in terms of clinical management to ensure that patients are treated quickly. Those that stay have to stay. Those that don't have to stay are sent home. So the bed management, the A&E management, very important. There's a facility that is being built to house an additional 30 to 40 or so patients outside, which we just looked at. And then there is the coordination between the staff at Black River and here to see, has seen some of the staff from Black River being here to assist and to bolster the response of the team that are treating the additional patients here.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Health Minister.
The Shipping Association of Jamaica is urging importers and cargo owners to collect their goods from the nation's ports amid significant congestion caused by existing backlogs. President of the association, Cora Ann Robertson Sylvester, says some businesses are working overtime to facilitate faster clearance.
The longer stripped cargo remains uncollected, the bigger the problem becomes. All institutions within the maritime sector, including government agencies, are working together to resolve this issue. Some businesses have even extended their operating hours to facilitate clearance. Once you've been advised that your cargo is ready, we need all cargo owners to come forward and collect their goods. Please, we also encourage you to keep in touch with your shipper.
Cora Ann Robertson Sylvester, the president of the Shipping Association of Jamaica. The backlog was compounded in October last year following Hurricane Melissa. According to the association, the Category 5 system disrupted operations across western Jamaica, delaying the collection of cargo already at ports. The surge of relief supplies from the diaspora and international donors, combined with holiday imports, created an unprecedented volume of shipments. The association says importers must clear their goods that have already been stripped from containers. It's encouraging the public to contact the relevant warehouse authorities to arrange clearance as soon as possible. You're listening to the news on Nationwide at 5. We'll have more after these.
See twice the style for less at IQ Optical. Buy one pair of glasses and get your second and third pair half price. Don't miss out. Call 876-929-7732 or visit IQ Optical today, where clarity never looked sharper.
The time by IQ Optical is
15 minutes after 5.
Termites, rodents, or birds infesting your home or office? Call Rentokil Initial, the pest expert, at 876-926-4236 for a free pest assessment island-wide. The temperature brought to you by Rentokil Initial is
30 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 out west in Montego Bay.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
Stepping confidently into a new year starts with one simple, powerful word. Yes! Say yes to new beginnings. Say yes to a secure future. Say yes to living the life you love with your family. With health and life insurance from Sagicor Life. We're here to give you the protection and peace of mind you deserve in 2026. All you have to do is say yes to what matters most. Call 888-SAGICOR to speak with an advisor today.
Continuing the news, Caribbean Airlines is refuting claims that the company was evicted from its Hope Road offices in St. Andrew. The airline provided the clarification in a media release on Friday. It says the decision to relocate is aligned with the natural end of the existing lease. It further added that the planned relocation is being managed in a way that ensures business continuity. Caribbean Airlines says it has maintained ongoing and open communication with the landlord at its Hope Road location. The company is also seeking to assure customers that all operations and services continue as normal with no inconvenience.
Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP Claudette Thompson, says her long years of service in the office adequately prepared her to take on the top job as the country's chief prosecutor. The DPP was reflecting on her tenure so far after she secured a guilty verdict against Constable Noel Maitland on Thursday.
This is all I've ever done. I left law school and became a prosecutor within the space of 2 months. This is all I've ever done. It's what I want to do. I applied for the top job after I had done the 8 months and realized that I had the competence to do it. And like I said, I felt relieved that I was being entrusted with the job.
Thompson was formally appointed as Jamaica's Director of Public Prosecutions in October last year. The Maitland verdict is the first major conviction of her tenure. Thompson served as acting DPP on 2 occasions prior to her official appointment. She says the appointment was a satisfying end to the wait.
I was relieved.
Relieved?
The interview was conducted, I believe, on the 7th day of August. It was a long way to hear what the result was, so I was relieved.
What has it been like since?
I acted for all of 8 months, 2024 into January of last year. So it really didn't feel the way I think people thought it felt.
Yes.
I was working with the same people I have been working with for the last, I believe, 18 plus years.
Claudette Thompson, the Director of Public Prosecutions.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
The World in a Minute. The Trinidad and Tobago government says it will begin registering all undocumented migrants in the country starting next week. But it's warning that those who fail to comply could face immediate deportation. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander made the announcement at the weekly post-cabinet media briefing. Alexander noted that the last migrant registration under the framework was done in 2019, but was open exclusively to migrants from Venezuela.
The U.S. has officially withdrawn from the World Health Organization, leaving the UN agency without one of its biggest donors. U.S. President Donald Trump signed an executive order signaling the withdrawal a year ago. He criticized the WHO for mishandling the COVID-19 pandemic. Washington has traditionally been one of the biggest donors to the WHO, but has not paid its fees for the past 2 years.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose assembly and supply, equipping Jamaica for success.
And Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology, and integrity.
Recapping the top stories making nationwide news at this hour, questions swirling at CTOC after cocaine seized from policemen was found stashed in unapproved storage.
The discovery has prompted the commissioner to remove the firearms and narcotics unit from CTOC.
Daughter killed and mother injured in daring gun attack in Patrick City this morning.
JPS warning citizens against paying money to unscrupulous individuals to have their power restored.
I'm Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Robian Williams.
Listeners, you can find the news on our website at rivernews.ai and on the River News app, available on the Google Play and the App Store. You can go ahead now.
We can light up your world with the rays of the sun, putting pure energy in the palm of your hand.
For over 20 years, Fosrich has been putting a world of energy in your hands. Now we bring you big savings with our line of solar energy products and LED lighting. Financing now available for all your home and commercial retrofit projects. Consult with our in-house staff or certified professional engineers for all your electrical needs. Fosrich Lifestyle. It's electric. Fosrich, your energy world.
Managing your investments with Sagicor is now easy as ever. You can fund stocks, repos, and do more seamlessly. Even get a clear overview of your portfolio performance on the enhanced Sagicor eBank platform. Want to experience effortless investment banking on Sagicor eBank? It's as easy as ever. Contact your Sagicor Investment Wealth Advisor today and update your personal information for access. Call 888-SAGICOR or visit sagicor.com for more information.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
The National Rural School Bus Program is getting smarter. With your child's student ID card, parents receive real-time notifications every time they board or exit the bus. Each card is unique and securely linked to the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth, and Information database. Tap on, tap off, and parents stay updated instantly. So, how do you register? Number 1, visit jamaica-district.mysmartterm.com/bus-portal/registration. Number 2, enter your child's details. Number 3, upload supporting documents. Number 4, submit your application. It's that easy. Safer, smarter, more secure. Register today and ride with peace of mind.
Attention, doctors, scientists, veterinarians, estheticians, occupational therapists, and the general public, especially those affected by stroke, diabetes, autism, Alzheimer's, memory loss, or skin conditions. Join Jamaica's first New Age Regenerative Stem Cell Medicine Conference, January 31 to February 1, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Jamaica Conference Center. Learn from world-renowned experts, including Professor Mike Chan and Professor Jonathan Lakey, as they explore human and animal stem cell breakthroughs. Register at eventbrite.com or scdleapja.com.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon rather, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Two-time world outdoor champion Daniel Williams is amongst 4 Jamaicans who will be in action at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix track and field meeting in Boston on Saturday. Williams will face off with the reigning national champion Megan Simmons and the current world indoor champion Devin Charlton of the Bahamas, and they'll run in the women's 60 meters hurdles. Brianna Liston will continue her first season as a pro. She lines up in the women's 60 meters against the former world 200 meters champion Dina Asher-Smith of Great Britain and Gina Luken-Kumper of Germany. Akeem Blakewell, a former world indoor medalist, he will feature in the men's 60 meters, and he'll go up against the likes of Terence Jones of the Bahamas. Meanwhile, over in Germany, a number of Jamaicans are slated for the ISTAF indoor meeting in Dusseldorf tomorrow. Janelle Smith, who is fresh from victory over in Sweden on Thursday, she's entered for the women's 60 meters. Nishon Ebanks is into the men's equivalent, and Daniel Thomas Dodd, who also won in Sweden on Thursday, has been entered in the women's shot put. And Ramona Fremantle of Vera Technical, she delivered a standout performance to capture the women's javelin throw at the Throws Fest held at Ashenheim Stadium, the campus of Jamaica College, on Friday. Fremantle produced a lifetime best of 40 meters on the nose to secure the win in convincing fashion. LaQuay Harrison of the University of Technology, she finished second with a season's best effort at 35 meters 45, while Tamar Austin of Excelsior High School claimed third after registering a season's best throw over 34 meters on the nose. In the men's equivalent, Elvis Graham emerged victorious with a season's best throw, 73 meters 22. Swept Track Club's Marlon Byfield. He placed second in the event after improving his lifetime best to 61 meters 15. Third place went to Trinidad and Tobago National, J.D. James, who was competing for Jamaica College, and they did a personal best of 45 meters and 80. In the meantime, Jacina Williams of Vera Technical delivered a standout show to capture the girls' class 1A 100 meters at Sprintfest, held at the same venue, so the meets have been held simultaneously. Williams stormed to victory in a lifetime best 12.21 seconds, holding off a strong challenge from Shireen Bennett of St. Jago High School, who was second in 12.26. Excelsior Shakira Roden completed the podium. She clocked 12.43 seconds for third. And in the boys class 1A 100 meters, Tariq Robinson of St. Jago emerged victorious, setting a lifetime best time as well. Robinson crossed the line in 10.78 seconds to take top honors in a very competitive field. And of course, Guyanese national Dijon Grant, competing for JC as well, claimed the second place in a personal best 10.89, while Excelsior's James Harrison secured third, also in a lifetime best 11.04. Minnesota Sports' Olivia Green says Jamaica cannot endorse the hosting of or participation in the Enhanced Games, which will allow athletes to compete using performance-enhancing drugs. And at the meet, speaking on Thursday at the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission's annual symposium, the minister says the concept of the Enhanced Games runs counter to Jamaica's values as a nation committed to clean sport and as a signatory to the World International Convention Against Doping in Sport and the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA. She stressed that the clean sport is not just a regulatory issue, but a reflection of Jamaica's national character, adding that integrity, fairness, and discipline must remain central to the country's sporting culture and the global reputation. More than 150 participants from 30 sporting organizations participated in the symposium. Cricket now, the West Indies team, they traveled today, that's on Friday, from Dubai to Paarl in South Africa for the start of a 4-match T20 international series against the Springboks. The Caribbean team is still smarting from a 2-1 reverse against Afghanistan. India recently concluded 3-match T20 series. In fact, it was completed on Thursday with the West Indies avoiding the sweep, winning that last game by 15 runs. The series against South Africa bowls off next week, Tuesday, in Paarl, and then the second game will be at Centurion Park on the 29th of January. The third game is at Wanderers on January 31. Coach Darren Sameh says the coaching staff is eager to get back to putting a team together that can produce good results as the World Cup gets closer.
Well, ideally, I would love to be in South Africa first and be coming here, but that's not the way the schedule works. But what South Africa brings is the opportunity to have my World Cup team playing games together before we head to India. And I think in India we have a possible 2 warm-up matches as well. Also, most of our players been playing cricket, especially in that format. Some already in South Africa, so to play. The results, yes, it didn't go in our favor, but I thought for us, what we were looking for, we tick some boxes.
Yeah, and Sammy says despite the defeat to Afghanistan, he's positive that the team can get back to where it was as they look forward for a 3rd world title. As he mentioned, they're going to be in India to play their group stages.
As we've seen in World Cup cricket, every team has a chance. You know, some people call them favorites, some people call them underdogs. But as I've learned in sports, you know, is the belief within the group, the execution out there on the field. That's what matters. And I remember back in 2016, nobody gave West Indies a chance to win. But what we had inside the dressing room was that confidence and that belief in each other, and we went on to win it. So.
As a West Indies coach, Darren Sammy. And finally, the 2016 champions, West Indies, will open the Super 6 phase of the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup when they take on Ireland Sunday morning, Jamaica time, at the High Performance Centre in Namibia. And it's set to start at 2:30 in the morning, Jamaica time. The Windies finished second in Group G of the group stage with 2 victories from their 3 games. And they finished behind the table toppers Afghanistan, who ended with a perfect record. Ireland advanced from Group A, and they were the 3rd best team in that. The West Indies will take 2 points into the Super 6 phase. Those 2 points were earned by beating South Africa. All the teams take the points that they gain from the teams that finish in the group stage and now into the Super 6 of the World Cup. Australia is the other team that the West Indies will be playing in the Super 6 stage. So despite the fact they're in a 5-team zone, they'll only play 2 teams, Ireland and Australia. And of course, as I mentioned, they take the 2 points they got from South Africa. So they could end up with 6, and let's see where they go with that. All right, we're going to put an end to sports at this time. We're going to be back, though, at 6:05 with our main sportscast. So we'll have much, much, much more.
For all your custom framing, printing, graphic design, and purchase of art, Make It Frame Art Jamaica Limited, serving you for over 40 years. The time by Frame Art Jamaica is
5:32.
Discover opportunities. Build connections that shape your future. Join the Jamaica Stock Exchange for its 21st Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference, January 20 through 22, 2026, at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston, under the theme Capital Markets Fueling Economic Resurgence and Resilience. Come here, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and Finance Minister Mrs. Fable Williams, Mr. Gregory Fisher of Jefferies, Mr. Livingston Morrison of Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mr. Angus Young of NCB Capital Markets, and more notable speakers. Seats are limited. Register now at jscregionalconference.com or call 876-967-3271.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Everything loud and wicked every Saturday 3 to 5 p.m. with Outside with Pepita. Loan vibes, loan laughs, and loan entertainment. Come on the road with we. Cause when we say Outside with Pepita, we're there all over Jamaica. Anyway, check them out. We're there. We're in on the business. Stay tuned in for prizes, surprises, giveaways, guest artists, and enough more. But hold on there. We forget to big up my DJ. DJ Jerome the Shell Boss, I'm gonna make it bust to pew pew with the maddest, baddest, and latest tunes. So look out for Outside with Pepita. We might be coming to a town near you. You heard it here first. Outside with Pepita, Saturdays 3 to 5 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. The new revolution in media. Jamaica, lock it in and don't miss a thing.
Not a mercy. This one is very classic, dedicated to all schoolers who are taking beats.
If you've ever struggled to pass an exam, then you'll know that students today are under great pressure to get good grades and secure qualification needed to move on to higher education. The problem is that too many students are struggling alone and could really benefit from connecting with hardworking teachers and other bright students in other parts of the country and the region. Join me, Dennis Brooks, this and every Friday evening from 8 to 9, with a repeat on Saturday morning from 8 to 9. For the A-Team, a study group on radio. My team of teachers, students, and experts will break down the syllabus, giving you information, tips, and past paper questions that will help you get top grades in your upcoming exams. Follow us on Facebook Live and on Twitter and be a part of the community. It's the A-Team, Fridays at 8 p.m. with a repeat at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. It's your free extra class on radio and social media. And it's right here on Nationwide 90 FM, the revolution in media.
The news cycle doesn't end on Friday. It needs perspective. That's why every Sunday at midday, Nationwide 90 FM presents The Week That Was. A clear, informed review of the top stories that shaped the past week, what really mattered and what lies ahead. No noise, no theatrics, just analysis, context, and clarity. The Week That Was. Sundays at 12 noon with a repeat at 6 p.m. Understand the news before the week begins. Only on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, hello. This is Nationwide at 5. It's the cover story. I'm Ricardo Brooks. And I'll be joined shortly by my co-host, Professor Donna Hope.
I think I turned up Ricardo. My apologies. And I am Professor Donna Hope. I'm very much here with you. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to go to a presentation the Education Minister made in the Senate this morning actually. She says early childhood and private institutions are set to benefit from a preliminary $31 million allocation from the ministry's Rapid Resumption Grant following Hurricane Melissa. The Rapid Resumption Grant is a cleanup allocation given to schools in the aftermath of the hurricane, and it follows a damage assessment carried out by the ministry.
Based on the damage sustained, schools are classified as severe, moderate, and mild. The allocations are then made depending on the school's classification. Jamaica's public schools have so far received a total of $616 million from the grant. Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says that more than 20,000 children in early childhood and private institutions have been affected by the hurricane.
And Opposition Senator Dr. Maziki Thame is calling for greater clarity on the state of schools still using the rotational method for classes following the hurricane.
I would want to hear more about what exactly it looks like for children to be in school at this time. When should we expect that they have roofs over their heads, that they have water, that they have electricity, and that the conditions are more ideal? We have heard that some schools are in rotational form. What are the specific needs of those schools at this time?
That's Dr. Maziki Thame, opposition senator. Well, the education minister joins us now. Good afternoon, Minister.
Good afternoon. How are you both?
Good afternoon.
Doing
Good
very
afternoon,
well.
Minister.
Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, Minister, let me ask you to just explain to our listeners exactly what the Rapid Resumption Grant is, what it was intended to do.
All right, thank you. So the Rapid Resumption Grant were approved by Cabinet to assist our public schools to be able to open. So a lot of schools after the hurricane had a lot of debris on their compounds. And so this was to help them to move off that debris. Some of them had already had their past students and the community help them quite a bit on that. So they could use their grants to maybe get another tank that had been damaged or to do minor electrical work. So that was really what was the thinking behind it. But then we started to evaluate the early childhood institutions, which are your basic schools.
Right.
And many of them are not government institutions. They're run privately or by a community. But we felt that they also needed some attention because, as you know, our early childhood institutions are critical because it's the early years that set the foundation for the future. And so we did an assessment of the early childhood institutions in the West, and we got over 300 indicating damage. And we felt that it was important for us as a signal of how important these institutions are to include them in the grants that we were giving to the public institutions. And that's what I would have announced today.
And that's the $31 million allocation?
Yes, and that's an initial first tranche based on those who have reported into the Early Childhood Commission, and we are willing to add more as the assessments are done. We can't do it without an assessment, as you know.
Right.
And so, Minister, one of the things, because you have three classifications that came out of the assessment, how much funding will each of the schools receive under that classification, severe, moderate, or mildly affected?
All right. So it ranges from a grant of $80,000 to $120,000. And so those who have been more severely affected, they'll get a grant of $120,000, and then those who are moderate would get a grant of $100,000. Now that's really just to help in terms of initial things that they may need to do. And you know, most basic schools are very small. Some of them have 20 students. You know, so it's not huge populations that we're speaking of. It's small populations, but they do very important work in framing the minds very early of our children.
Minister, if I could just go back to the $31 million allocation.
Yes.
Because you're right, obviously, that, you know, a lot of these early childhood institutions are not government run. And sometimes we have a tendency in this country, somebody paints outside with pretty colors and, you know, Miss Joan down the road, and she opens a little, you know, institution, and we send our children there, and it's an important function. But in terms of the registration with the ministry, do they have to be first registered with the ministry and certified as being up to par before they can access the funds?
All of them have to be registered. Now, remember, early childhood designations as we have in terms of the standards and getting certification is a process. So a lot of them would not have met that as yet, but they're all registered.
Okay.
What that means is that we're working with them. The ministry actually puts a trained teacher in every early childhood institution, even though they're not government, because we understand that the standard has to improve and has to be high. And so we pay for a teacher, a trained teacher in each of these early childhood institutions. So even though they're private, we understand the important role they play. And if the foundation is not good, then we can't build really good students on top of that. And so we've been supporting them in various ways. And this is another way that we are supporting them.
You also mentioned... Oh, we're up on the break? All right, let's take the break. And then after the break, Minister, the number 20,000, more than 20,000 children impacted. That struck me. I want to talk a little bit about that after the break.
Order Pizza Hut online at pizzahutjamaica.com or through WhatsApp at 876-837-4488. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering. The time by Pizza Hut is
15 minutes to 6.
Draxall Creative Building Finishes is here. Explore Jamaica's best styles, bathrooms and kitchens in our brand new showroom at Unit 4, 14 Drax Business Center, Draxall. Creative Building Finishes, your beautiful finish begins here.
Stepping confidently into a new year starts with one simple, powerful word. Yes! Say yes to new beginnings. Say yes to a secure future. Say yes to living the life you love with your family. With health and life insurance from Sagicor Life. We're here to give you the protection and peace of mind you deserve in 2026. All you have to do is say yes to what matters most. Call 888-SAGICOR to speak with an advisor today.
Need to pass your CSEC CAPE exams to get that dream job or to qualify for university? Then Distinction College is the school for you. We have locations in Kingston, Spanish Town, St. Elizabeth, and Ocho Rios. Start day, evening, and Saturday classes this coming term and sit CSEC CAPE exams for January's resit or May, June. Maths, law, science, English. We have the lowest school fees. Register before the end of the month and win an entire term free. Call us at 354-8560.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Nationwide at 5. This is the cover story, and our guest is the Minister of Education, Youth, Skills and Information, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, talking to us about her update in the Senate this morning on the education sector following Melissa. Minister, you said, I think, 24,000 children, I think was the number, have been impacted by the hurricane. Talk to us about the assessment that went on and the needs that you're seeing across the early childhood sector.
All right, so that 24,000 is for that a little over 300 schools that were assessed and had sent in information, and we were able to validate the information that they sent in. As you know, they're small schools. That's why the numbers seem small, but it is an important cohort in the West, and we have to treat with them. Some of them, the damage isn't too much, but there are many of them that had severe damage. And one of the things we've been doing in the ministry, while we are working to fix the public institutions, we've also been providing data to donors who have an interest in the early childhood sector. So there are people from overseas, locally, who are also reaching out to us. And because we have that database through the Early Childhood Commission, we're able to channel support to those basic schools. So again, even though they're not government institutions, we recognize how important they are to the whole sector. And so we're willing to work and try to get resources to them. Many of them have started operating again. They've needed some support to restart, but the ministry has been working with them. When you talk about damage, though, more broadly, when we're looking at those who were affected by Hurricane Melissa, and in the public sector, that was 152,000 students. So it's a lot of people that were affected and displaced as a part of the as a result of the hurricane.
The minister, you had indicated that for the public schools that you have already allocated over $600 million to those schools. And so for these schools, which are kind of private, but of course the ministry still makes sure that they are resourced in different ways, this additional $31 million that you're giving up for assistance with their recovery, how does that fit into the overall recovery plan that you have and the budget that you're working out?
All right. So the budget, though, for recovery, remember, these were grants to just help the schools to get back and to clear debris and to be able to have a better environment. So, for example, if we're going to be putting a tent on the compound needs to be cleared. And so those grants were approved by Cabinet to help the schools with minor things they may have to do. So they don't have to always come to the ministry for everything. They would be able to get some funds and they can do what they need to do. Now, in terms of the broader repair, the price tag we have is $15 billion. That's a lot of money because it's 447 schools across Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, and St. Elizabeth and Manchester that were affected. That's a lot of schools. But we have also tiered them. So we have tier 1 schools and we also have schools that we call tier 2. But for those who are the most affected, we have started to do repairs to them. So 56 of those schools have work on the way, and 98 others we're finalizing with the contractors as we speak. So those that were the most damaged, we're doing work. But for the schools that were affected, it's a $15 billion bill that we're looking at.
Minister, sometimes when these announcements happen, the bureaucracy doesn't move as fast as it should to ensure that the allocations actually get into the accounts of the schools. Can you give the assurance that this will be done in a reasonably speedy manner, considering the importance?
It will be done very speedily. With the one for the public institutions, we started sending it out 2 days after I made the announcement. These are things we're not playing around with, and I think in the ministry we've done a lot of changes in our finance department. Our PS is very much
Minister?
Oh,
we lost her.
Did we lose her?
We have. By the way, we have her back.
Do we have her?
No. We're going to try to reconnect. By the way, this is happening a lot. You know what's happening with this telecoms connection?
That's true.
Like
even with regular conversations, there seems to be some disruption, Ricardo. But it sounds like a hefty bill that we are facing for this kind of recovery and repair effort for our educational structures. After Melissa, the bill sounds very hefty. And the minister wanted her to tell us what the measures they are having, to put in place to ensure that the funds are actually being used in the way that they are supposed to be used. Will they follow on? How, what are the strategies that they have to ensure follow on and to ensure that it's actually being used in the way that they are allocated? So that's also important.
Absolutely. We're trying to reconnect with the Education Minister, Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, giving us an update on the grants being sent to schools. She was saying to us that, there are times in the past where schools have complained about the speed at which they receive these monies, and Minister was explaining that quite a bit of work has been done. Certainly, we have her back with us now.
Yes,
Minister, sorry about that.
But before you start, I have to say something today that I said in the Senate, and we've not talked about the fact that 90 days after a Category 5 catastrophic hurricane, all our schools in the West are open. That is something we should celebrate. Yes, it's not in the perfect state that we want, because we have to have the rotational system, we have to have the tents, and so on. But all schools are open, and for those who are doing exams, whether it's grade 6 or the PEP, or you're doing CSEC, or you're doing CAPE, those students go to school every day in all of those schools. That is a phenomenal feat, and we have to congratulate our teachers, our principals, the contractors, our partners who have done that. That's unheard of. I said it in the Senate today. After Hurricane Katrina, most children went back 1 year later. In Jamaica, 90 days after that event, our children are at school. It's not perfect, but they're at school.
Yeah.
And you know, Ricardo and Minister, we have to underscore that point as someone in education, Minister, because we have to always ensure that our children are not left behind and that the school curriculum continues. We have to figure out, even if it's on that tent, Ricardo, how to ensure that our students and our children are continuing the process of education and not being left behind in the global environment. So kudos, Minister. It's very important, and I'm glad you underlined that point. Yes, Ricardo.
It's important. And I should note, too, that after COVID, during COVID, when our children were out of school, many, especially our teenage boys, never went back. And so this push to bring them back as quickly as possible, even though not perfect, is because we know the longer they stay out, is the higher the likelihood they will not come back.
Yes. And so operationally, Minister, for example, the innovations, the tent schools or tent classes, how has that innovation been working?
It's working really well. I mean, as well as you can in a tent. I've been in some of them and seen class taking place in the tent. And so what we're doing is where a school is repaired and they have a tent, we're deploying them to another school. So a school that may have had students coming in 2 or 3 days of the week, we could maybe move it to 4 days of the week with that tent. So we're moving around the tent too, and we're doing the repairs as quickly as we can. We also have some other tents that are coming and some other temporary structures, but the key solution really is to repair the schools. Some of them, it's a 6-month timeline, and you can understand why that is.
Yes.
Because we have to have school. So the contractors have to work at night and weekend, which slows things down, but we have to find the right balance, right? Some schools that are really destroyed, it's up to 18 months of work. And so over time, we deliver pieces and we bring the students in off of the rotation as quickly as we can.
And so is that the top end? Yes. Is that the top end of the timeline? 18 months, you think?
18 months is the top end.
Okay.
Some schools need a lot of work. We're kind of almost building them from scratch.
Yeah.
And for future planning, Minister, we came out of Hurricane Beryl that hit us on the western end in 2024. And in 2025, we came into a Category 5 that really took a big hit on the western end of our island. So while we are repairing and planning, are you future planning for any other kind of weather thing that may impact on us? Because many of us are having that in the back of our heads.
I'm glad you asked that. That's a key part, resilience. You have to build back more resilient, which also means you build back slower. And the principals have said to us, it's all right, take your time, as long as when a hurricane come again, we're good. So we are putting slab where we can, where the structure can handle it. In terms of those that can't handle the slab, we're using the standing seam technology. We're using different technologies for the roof to make sure that they can withstand hurricane wind. We have the World Bank working with us in terms of our standards to ensure that we have the most robust standards that can withstand a Category 5 hurricane. And so as we build back, we are building in resilience. We're even also looking at our school farms, because a lot of them were destroyed, and we're working with the World Food Program now to see what that looks like. What does a resilient school farm look like, so that we don't lose everything again in the event of another hurricane.
Yeah. All right. We're out of time. Thank you so much, though, Minister, for the update. Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon is the Minister of Education, Youth, Skills and Information. A very busy time for her. It's been a very busy few months for her. All the portfolios under her ministry actively involved in this rebuilding and resilience effort. All right, so we're going to go for the headlines now and come back with you at 6:40.
The time brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy is
6 o'clock.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening with the headlines at 6. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Nationwide News understands that investigators found 2 parcels of cocaine stashed away inside the stores at the headquarters of the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch CTOC, located at 45 East Queen Street in downtown Kingston. It's understood the discovery of the cocaine forms part of an ongoing investigation by the police into the arrest and charge of one of their own, Detective Inspector Martin Walker, for possession of a quantity of cocaine during an intelligence-led operation on Thursday, January 4 this year. Shortly after his arrest 19 days ago, the head of the JCF's crime portfolio, Deputy Commissioner Richard Stewart, ordered an audit of the stores at CTOC's headquarters in Kingston. During the audit, 2 parcels of cocaine were found inside the store's area. However, according to the structure of the JCF, contraband such as cocaine is only kept at the offices of FNID. In other words, cocaine being held by the police as part of an investigation or an ongoing court matter must not be stored anywhere other than at the FNID office. There is, though, a direct relationship between FNID and CTOC. CTOC is a branch of the JCF, while FNID is a division under the CTOC umbrella. Meanwhile, consequent upon the discovery of the cocaine at CTOC, it's understood Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has ordered that FNID be removed from under CTOC's umbrella to facilitate the ongoing investigation into the activities of Detective Inspector Walker. The police are investigating a shooting incident, which left a woman dead and her mother nursing gunshot wounds. The incident occurred in Patrick City, Kingston on Friday. Dead is 26-year-old Maya Ashley of Patrick City, Kingston. It's understood the injured woman's husband is being sought in relation to the shooting. Reports are that Ashley went to the Norman Manley International Airport to pick up her mother, who had arrived in the island earlier in the day. It's understood that while Ashley and her mom were on their way home, they were pounced upon and shot multiple times. Ashley, who was the driver, drove off to escape the gunmen and crashed into a perimeter fence. Thereafter, the police were alerted, and when the team arrived on the scene, both women were removed from the crashed vehicle. They were rushed to the Kingston Public Hospital, KPH, where Ashley was pronounced dead and her mother is undergoing treatment. Ashley received gunshot wounds to her upper body and her mom was shot in the upper body and face. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says staff at the Mandeville Regional Hospital are facing a significant challenge with overcrowding as the facility continues to recover from the impact of Hurricane Melissa. He was speaking at a tour of the hospital on Friday.
So what we have is Mandeville Regional is seen as the rescue center for a number of parishes and populations, which has led to where we are today. And it's good that people know they can seek refuge at an institution, but it places a lot of stress on the staff. So the staff is fatigued because of that. The third reason I should mention is the impact on primary care in those areas where the hurricane hit. Some Jamaicans have not gone to their health clinic as often as they would normally go, and so their conditions get out of control and they end up seeking hospital care.
Dr. Tufton says the issue of overcrowding will take weeks to alleviate. As a result, the minister says work is ongoing to increase bed spaces at the hospital. He added that the ministry has also sought assistance from nearby hospitals to manage the increased traffic at the health facility.
The team are trying their best in terms of clinical management to ensure that patients are treated quickly. Those that stay have to stay. Those that don't have to stay are sent home. So the bed management, the A&E management, very important. There's a facility that is being built to house an additional 30 to 40 or so patients outside, which we just looked at. And then there is the coordination between the staff at Black River and here to see, and has seen some of the staff from Black River being here to assist and to bolster the response of the team that are treating the additional patients here.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Health Minister. Early childhood and private institutions are set to benefit from a preliminary $31 million allocation from the Education Ministry's Rapid Resumption Grant following Hurricane Melissa. The announcement was made by Portfolio Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon during the sitting of the Senate on Friday.
And so when we looked at the data that was there, it became clear, Mr. President, that despite the fact that these are not public institutions, that support should be provided to them. Based on a situational analysis of that sector, I am very pleased to announce an extension of the Rapid Resumption Grant to early childhood institutions and independent schools that have already reported to the Early Childhood Commission and the Ministry of Education.
The Rapid Resumption Grant is a cleanup grant allocated to schools in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. The grant follows a damage assessment carried out by the ministry. Jamaica's public schools have so far received a total of $616 million from the grant. Minister Morris-Dixon says more than 20,000 children in early childhood and private institutions have been affected by the passage of the hurricane.
335 schools, 318 early childhood institutions, and 17 independent private schools have been impacted based on the preliminary assessment of the Early Childhood Commission and the Ministry of Education. So the breakdown thus far, we have 122 severe, 115 moderate, and 81 schools with mild damage. And if we put that in terms of people, that's 24,143 children and 2,313 staff members that have been affected in our early childhood institutions.
Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, Education Minister. Caribbean Airlines is refuting claims that the company was evicted from its Hope Road offices in St. Andrew. The airline provided the clarification in a media release on Friday. It says the decision to relocate is aligned with the natural end of the existing lease. It further added that the planned relocation is being managed in a way that ensures business continuity. Caribbean Airlines says it has maintained ongoing and open communication with the landlord at its Hope Road location. The company is also seeking to assure customers that all operations and services continue as normal with no inconvenience. Those are the headlines at 6. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Sports is next.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
Hurricane Melissa may be over, but the emotional impact can linger. It's normal to feel anxious, sad, or overwhelmed. Talk about your feelings. Stay connected with family and friends and reach out for help if you need it. Call the Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-NEW-LIFE. That's 888-639-5433. You can also access the UMatter chat line by messaging the word support to 876-838-4897 or at UReport Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice in the electrical business.
Good evening with your sports report. I am Alric Swaby. We start with track and field as two-time world outdoor champion Daniel Williams is among 4 Jamaicans who will be in action at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix in Boston on Saturday. Williams will face off with reigning national champion Megan Simmons and current world indoor champion Devonine Charlton of the Bahamas in the women's 60 meters hurdles. Brianna Liston continues her first season as a pro. She lines up in the women's 60 meter against former world 200 meters champion Diana Asher-Smith and Gianna Luckenkemper of Germany. Akeem Blake, a former world indoor medalist, will feature in the men's 60 meter with Terence Jones of the Bahamas. Meanwhile, over in Germany, a number of Jamaicans are slated for the ISTAF Indoor Dusseldorf 2026. Janelle Smith, fresh from her victory in Sweden on Thursday, is listed for the women's 60 meter. Nishon Ebanks will be in the men's equivalent. Danielle Thomas Dodd, who also won in Sweden on Thursday, will compete in the women's shot put. Ramona Fremantle of Veer Technical delivered a standout performance to capture the women's javelin title at the Throws Fest held at Ashland Stadium, Jamaica College on Friday. Wayne Walker tells us more.
Fremantle produced a lifetime best of 40 meters on the nose to secure the win in convincing fashion. LaQuay Harrison of the University of Technology, she finished second with a season's best effort at 35 meters 45, while Tamar Austin of Excelsior High School claimed third after registering a season's best to throw over 34 meters on the nose. In the men's equivalent, Elvis Graham emerged victorious with a season's best throw, 73 meters 22, swept Track Club's Marlon Byfield. He placed second in the event after improving his lifetime best to 61 meters 15. Third place went to Trinidad and Tobago National J.D. James, who was competing for Jamaica College, and they did a personal best of 45 meters and 80. In the meantime, Jacina Williams of Veer Technical delivered a standout show to capture the girls' class 1A 100 meters at Sprintfest held at the same venue, so the meets have been held simultaneously. Williams turned to victory in a lifetime best 12.21 seconds, holding off a strong challenge from Shireen Bennett of St. Jago High School, who was second in 12.26. Excelsior Shakira Roden completed the podium. She clocked 12.43 seconds for third, and in the boys' class 1A 100 meters, Tariq Robinson of St. Jago emerged victorious, setting a lifetime best time as well. Robinson crossed the line in 10.78 seconds to take top honors in a very competitive field. And of course, Guyanese national Dijon Grant, competing for JC as well, claimed the second place in a personal best 10.89, while Excelsior's James Harrison secured third, also in a lifetime best 11.04.
Thank you, Wayne. Now, Minister of Sports Olivia Grains says Jamaica cannot endorse the hosting of or participation in the enhanced games which allow athletes to compete using performance-enhancing substances. Speaking on Thursday at the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission's annual symposium, Minister Grains says the concept of the enhanced games runs counter to Jamaica's values as a nation committed to clean sport and as signatories to the International Convention Against Doping in Sport and the World Anti-Doping Agency Code. She stressed that clean sport is not just a regulatory issue, but a reflection of Jamaica's national character, adding that integrity, fairness, and discipline must remain central to the country's sporting culture and global reputation. More than 150 participants from over 30 sporting organizations attended the symposium. Now to cricket, as the West Indies squad travelled on Friday from Dubai to Pearl in South Africa for their 4-match T20 International Series against the Springboks. The Caribbean team is still smarting from a 2-1 series defeat against Afghanistan, which ended on Thursday with the Windies avoiding the sweep with a 13-run victory. The series against South Africa bowls off next Tuesday, January 27. Game 2 is at Centurion Park on Thursday, January 29. Coach Darren Sammy says the coaching staff is eager to get back to winning ways as the World Cup draws closer.
Well, ideally, I would love to be in South Africa first and be coming here, but that's not the way the schedule works. But what South Africa brings is the opportunity to have my World Cup team playing games together before we head to India. And I think in India we have a possible 2 warm-up matches as well. Also, most of our players been playing cricket, especially in that format. Some already in South Africa, so to play. The results, yes, it didn't go in our favor, but I thought for us, what we were looking for, we tick some boxes.
Now, despite unfavorable result in recent times, Coach Sammy remains optimistic that the team will have a positive series against South Africa and then carry over that form into the World Cup as they take aim at securing their third title.
As we've seen in World Cup cricket, every team has a chance. You know, some people call them favorites, some people call them underdogs. But as I've learned in sport, you know, is the belief within the group, the execution out there on the field. That's what matters. And I remember back in 2016, nobody gave West Indies a chance to win. But what we had inside the dressing room was that confidence and that belief in each other, and we went on to win it. So,
Darren, Sammy. Now, 2016 champions, the West Indies, will open their Super 6 phase of the ICC Under-19 World Cup on Sunday morning, Jamaica time, when they face Ireland at the High Performance Centre in Namibia, starting at 2:30. The Windies finished second in Group D of the group stage with 2 wins from their 3 games, as Afghanistan topped the group with a perfect record. Ireland advanced as the third-place team from Group A. The West Indies will take 2 points into the Super 6, gained from beating South Africa in the group stage. Australia, who topped Group A, will be the West Indies' other opponent in the Super 6, and they play each other next Wednesday. Now to rugby, as host team Campion College were crowned champions of the Rugby League Jamaica Flagship Couriers National Under-19 High School Championships after a commanding 26-10 victory over defending champions Calabar High in the final on Friday. Playing in front of a supportive home crowd, Campion produced a confident and disciplined performance to wrestle the title away from last year's winners. Head coach of Campion, Andrew Dixon, was pleased with the outcome but believed the scoreline did not fully reflect his team's dominance.
Well, I think we could have put more points on the board, you know. We missed almost all of our kicks, you know, which is probably another 12 points thereabout. So our performance wasn't really bad at all, just a teamwork. I can show that when you work as a team and you follow the instructions of the coach, and it paid off.
Dixon also suggested that Calabar may have underestimated Campion's ability heading into the final.
They never knew we'd be coming in so strong. Probably they were a little bit relaxed knowing that they played us twice earlier this season and it was a draw in both games. And what they prepared for probably changed it up on them a bit. So we're a bit stronger going up the middle, which they never expect. And we had some plays in our arsenal that worked out for us. So we did a bit of changes and it paid off. And I guess Calabar just couldn't answer all of those.
Andrew Dixon. Now, St. Hugh's High School will be buzzing with activity on Saturday as 5 matches headline the preliminary round of the Jamaica Lacrosse High School League, promising a full afternoon of fast-paced action. The day gets underway at noon with a boys under 15 class between Jamaica College and Wolmer's boys. Meanwhile, at 1 p.m. in the girls' open division, Campion College take on Wolmer's. At 2 p.m., attention shifts to the boys under 90 division, where St. George's College will battle Calabar High. 1 hour later, at 3 p.m., the spotlight returns to the host as St. Hugh's High facing Catherine High. The final match of the day is set for 4 p.m., featuring Jamaica College against St. Catherine High in the boys under 19 category. Coach of St. George's College, Damon McKenzie, is expecting an exciting showcase.
Calabar have been to the finals on 2 occasions, and St. George's College have been to the finals since the competition resumed, since COVID. So you should get a very competitive game. You would say a game of a lot of technical and tactical team play between both teams. Calabar is in a rebuilding stage, but nevertheless they have quality from their history. And likewise St. George's.
Damien McKenzie. Now to footballer Tafari Chambers, goalkeeper for Mount Pleasant, believes it's of paramount importance that he's always in tip-top shape as he continues to lead the best defensive line in the Rare Never Jamaica Premier League. Mount Pleasant have conceded 8 goals in 18 games played. For Chambers, there's a synergy between himself and the back line at the moment.
I mean, from the goalkeeper, he's having a good game. Definitely, the centre back, the whole back line will be on point going forward. I mean, that's the aim of the game, to always keep a clean sheet.
Chambers explained that hard work behind the scenes has been the key secret ingredient towards his success, which has always led him to the senior Reggae Boys squad in recent times.
I mean, it's a never give up mentality, you know. Just have to keep working hard every day. You know, train consistent. It's kind of tough. I mean, when you know you're putting in work and not playing, and when you get the chance, you have to grab it with both hands. So that's what I did.
Tafari Chambers. And finally, Trinity Rodman, a striker for the U.S. women's national team and the Washington Spirit, has become the world's highest-paid female footballer. The 23-year-old recently inked a 3-year deal worth $2 million per year, including bonuses, which will also keep her at the Washington Spirit until 2028. According to Rodman, she feels satisfied with her new contract.
It feels amazing. I'm very happy. I'm very blessed. It's a monumental and game-changing moment right now. I can't even describe in words what it feels like. Obviously, everyone's gonna have their different thoughts and opinions about it, but I've never really cared.
The talented attacker is the daughter of former basketball star Dennis Rodman. Trinity has 47 caps for the U.S. national team, netting on 11 occasions. In 2021, she helped the Spirit to the National Women's Soccer League title in her debut season and was also named Rookie of the Year. According to Rodman, this is perfect timing.
I think I've always had a vision and kind of an idea of what I wanted my legacy to be and continue to be, and for me, we're doing that with help, obviously, and I'm so grateful for that. This is just opening opportunities for American girls with dreams, and I am one and was one of them, so I'm just very grateful about that, and it's perfect timing with the World Cup happening in the U.S. too.
Trinity Rodman, I'm Alric Swaby, and that's your sports.
The National Rural School Bus Program is getting smarter. With your child's student ID card, parents receive real-time notifications every time they board or exit the bus. Each card is unique and securely linked to the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth, and Information database. Tap on, tap off, and parents stay updated instantly. So, how do you register? Number 1, visit jamaica-district.mysmartterm.com/bus-portal/registration. Number 2, enter your child's details. Number 3, upload supporting documents. Number 4, submit your application. It's that easy. Safer, smarter, more secure. Register today and ride with peace of mind.
Managing your investments with Sagicor is now easy as ever. You can fund stocks, repos, and do more seamlessly. Even get a clear overview of your portfolio performance on the enhanced Sagicor eBank platform. Want to experience effortless investment banking on Sagicor eBank? It's as easy as ever. Contact your Sagicor Investment Wealth Advisor today and update your personal information for access. Call 888-SAGICOR or visit sagicor.com for more information.
It is God who always is pursuing us. Not we trying to pursue God and can't find him. And if you are frantically trying to get God to do this or that for you, my advice for you is chill out and realize that God is saying to every one of us, be still and know that I am God.
Learn more on Leading the Way with Dr. Michael Youssef.
Leading the Way airs on Sundays 11 to 11:30 a.m. on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, everybody. It's that time. Welcome to Public Opinion here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Special good evening to our friends over on YouTube. We invite you to also weigh in live on today's Public Opinion. And I love public opinions like this one because I don't need to write like a script or anything to explain why we asked it. I feel like it's just one of those public opinions that you can just ask out of context and just immediately get answers to. So no context necessary. I'll still provide some anyways. Tea. We're talking about tea today, something very near and dear to my heart. Love tea. I have a box of tea at my table. But during today's meeting, one George Davis decided to ask the world, should children be compelled to drink tea before leaving for school? Should tea be mandatory, quote unquote, for children leaving for school? And we had a little debate about it. Some of us thought no. But I think a majority of us thought yes. I certainly drank tea almost every morning before I left for school. And that seemingly was the popular vote in the Nationwide newsroom. But that's just the Nationwide newsroom. What actually says the folks out there? The public. What's the public opinion on Public Opinion? So we asked the question, and now we're going to take a look at the answers, and we're going to start over on Instagram. Should children be compelled to drink tea before leaving for school? Robert Gregory Luwars starts us off, and he says yes, and have a good breakfast. Prudence Mickey says yes, it is important. Empress 658 says not compelled. A healthy breakfast, including a warm beverage, should definitely be encouraged, but one would assume that warm beverage is tea, you know? What other warm beverages exist that aren't tea? And it depends on what you label as tea, you know? We're gonna get very deep into this, you know, because what really is tea? Is tea, does chocolate count as tea, or is it only tea bag that you refer to as tea? Is Milo tea? Horlicks? I think any warm beverage should technically be called tea, but some people are kind of iffy on that, man. Some people only call tea bag tea. But I'm pretty sure for this question, we meant hot beverage, no matter what, whether it's Bush, mint, fever grass, or chocolate. I think any warm beverage should count as tea. So, yeah, I guess technically Empress does agree then, but we keep going on. Evangelist Bennett says, is breakfast important? No tea our parents and grandparents gave us to ensure we had something in our stomachs going to school. It never killed us. There we go. Yes, that's important, says Marshall. Will Ryan Wilson says, no need to compel them, but it must be compulsory or encouraged that they have a healthy breakfast before leaving out. Which then brings up another question. Is tea mandatory as part of a healthy breakfast? Can you not have a healthy breakfast without tea? I, for one, think not, but we keep going. Unless you're gonna drink water or something. Sensational says, yes, it kept me from fainting at school as a child. There we go, folks. Another tea believer. Kimberly Too Sexy says, compelled is a strong word. Mandating that children drink tea before school feels like a slippery slope. A good breakfast should always be recommended and encouraged, especially tea. We're not raising our kids on ultra-processed foods and Starbucks coffee like some foreign kids. Standards matter. And there we go, folks. That's what we have so far on Instagram. And we're getting somewhere, you know, because, again, tea. Very, very important drink in my arsenal of food, in my arsenal of breakfast. But I don't drink tea until I come to work. But that's a story for another day. It's not about me. It's about what the public are saying, isn't it? So when we go over to X and we scroll down and we look for public opinion, we do have a comment. And it's from Rodrigo Cohen, who says, parents should teach their children the importance of drinking tea in the morning, and some parents leave their kids to make their own decisions, but in the end, some children suffer because they're not adequately fed in the morning. It would be good to compel them to do so. There we go, folks. Another tea believer, Rodrigo Cohen, on Twitter. And then we go over to Facebook to see what folks are saying over there. Do we still have any tea believers over in Facebook, or will we have a bit of a balance? Let's take a look. When we go to Facebook and we ask the same question, should children be compelled to drink tea in the morning? Michelle Bernard kicks us off. She says no. Michelle Bernard says no, the stomach doesn't know morning from evening. In fact, tea can be had any time of the day. So, it appears as though she does agree with children drinking tea, but it shouldn't be mandatory in the morning. You can drink tea whenever you want, which, honestly, fair enough. I drink tea in the evening and the morning. As a matter of fact, I had a cup before I even came in here. Should sounds like a law, says Jermaine Donovan. Will the government provide the mandatory tea? I wouldn't mind, personally. Philip Jackson says, we were told in our days that drinking tea as the first thing in the morning addresses what they call gas on the stomach, and often we give a burp after drinking hot tea. But children nowadays want cold beverage and soda anytime, and that's weird to me, isn't it? Not that children wanting cold beverages or soda is weird, but cold beverages in the morning just feels kind of odd, doesn't it? Like, I don't feel the urge to drink anything cold when I wake up, or even eat anything cold for that matter. I feel like food needs to be warm when you just wake up out the bed. I think that's what kickstarts your brain and your enzymes in your stomach and all of that good stuff. I don't know why anyone would eat or drink something cold. Of course, it will help with their digestive system instead of the cold juice, says Chadwick. There we go. Lesia says, my children don't drink tea. Wild. Breakfast is important. Fair enough, Lesia. But what do your children drink is what I should have asked her, if possible. Yes, and them still not drinking. Then worse, them go buy cold drinks, says Eunice Anderson. Kimona Goodley says yes, because they have a heavy stomach. As early as 7 a.m., I see children eating patty and drinking cup soda. That's a problem. That is a problem. Nicola Nicholson says, nothing wrong if they drink tea and breakfast in the morning, but we don't have to push them to have it. We should take the time to know our children's likes and dislikes. Latanya says, you mean have breakfast? And there we go, another tangent we're going to go off on. For some people, tea is breakfast, and that's all they need. They don't have like a big old plate of dumpling and yam and mackerel and saltfish and any of that stuff. They literally just drink tea and leave the house. And for most people, well, let me not say most, let me not quantify, but for some people, that's okay. For some people, that's all they need to get out the house in the morning. They don't even need to eat. They just need that tea. They just need that tea. Suzanne Brown says, I let them choose. I'm an early morning tea person. I can't live without it. But on the other hand, my son is a juice person. He can't go without it. Misty Blue says, absolutely not. So many children survive on cereal with cold milk. They should have breakfast before going to school, but not necessarily tea, says George Elliott. All right, folks. What say the YouTubers? I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers and they are all pro tea. I don't see. What do you mean? Whoop. Take that back. The first comment I see is somebody being a tea hater. Fellow C says no. Tea drinking is a bad habit. I'd love to know why. But everybody else is pro tea. There we go. Robert Loire says, especially ginger tea. I'm not really a ginger person, but fair enough. MDL says, yes, I believe it's important to give children a hot drink in the morning, such as chocolate, Milo, Horlicks, milk, etc. There we go. I need my cup of hot chocolate as me wake, says Rick Jam. Been like this from a child and now I'm an adult with the same routine. There we go. Novelet says, tea, crackers, ripe banana, my breakfast. That sounds kind of neat. Ripe banana. There we go. Guys. Yeah, we're putting me on right now, man. In the country, people normally just say tea mean breakfast. And that's true. I think that's a thing in England. Tea is the name given for a meal you have at a certain time. But we're talking about drinking literal tea, the hot beverage. What is tea, says Who Am I? And we were talking about that earlier. Now, what really is tea? Is tea only tea bag? Is tea only, boiling fever grass and guinea hen? Or does it just mean hot beverage like hot chocolate or coffee? Well, not coffee. It can be coffee and tea are always distinguishable. Always best to have a cup of hot water in the morning, says Dale. Hey, fair enough, but what if you put some bush in that water and made tea? Sounds good to me, man. Having warm liquids is best, says Valentina. It's a good habit to have, which is the complete opposite of what I read earlier, where someone was saying that tea drinking is a bad habit, which I can't for the life of me understand. What is it about tea drinking that's a bad habit? How is it a bad habit, even if it is a habit? You can have good habits, And I think drinking tea every morning is a great habit. Traditionally, tea is usually a part of breakfast. You'd hope so. What's this? Cane leaf tea in the morning. Big Belch says, Who Am I? Cane leaf tea? I've never heard of that one before, man. I need to go do my research. Cane leaf tea. Have the rest of you guys heard about that? Am I out of the loop? Is that a normal thing? I've never heard that one before. Cane leaf tea. Fair enough. Tea is important, but water is more important, says Everbless. Might be onto something in Everbless. Staying hydrated, obviously, is very important. It's best to do warm things in the morning. I can't do cold foods on an empty stomach. There we go, Valentina. That's what I'm saying. Cold stuff in the morning, it's just not how I operate. And last, we have Earl Foster, who says, as a teacher, a student only had hot sugar water headache by midday. Offering a healthy breakfast when she got to college propelled her to the top of the class. I drink hot water, no sugar, says Marjorie Gordon. There we go, folks. That's public opinion. A very good one, a very filling one. I hope y'all are drinking some tea as we talk about tea here on Public Opinion. But that's public opinion for you. It's time for the business report now.
Public Opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
The time by KIG is...
It is 6:34. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Hundreds of businesses in Minnesota shut their doors on Friday as part of an economic protest against the immigration crackdown in their state. Organizers called for residents to skip work or school if possible and refrain from shopping in a show of opposition to the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE. They also planned rallies in St. Paul and Minneapolis, two cities that have seen an intense immigration enforcement activity. The Trump administration characterizes the immigration enforcement as a public safety operation aimed at deporting alleged criminals who are in the country illegally. Critics warn migrants with no criminal records and U.S. citizens are also being detained. On Friday morning, Minneapolis resident Corey Lamb closed his business, Harriet Grove Botanicals, and headed to a protest. He objected to the presence of ICE agents in his city and was outraged by Good's death, Renee Good that is, in early January. He also saw the immigration raids as an economic threat to his business and others in his community. Mr. Lamb's business was expected to be joined by hundreds of others, from restaurants and tattoo parlors to toy stores. It has been a week of geopolitical uncertainty and policy whiplash. Stocks and bonds regained ground, the US dollar sank, and gold posted its best week since 2020. While US President Donald Trump backed down from his recent tariff threats, sending stocks on a sharp rebound, investors are reckoning with the unpredictability of the White House's means of achieving its policy goals and shifts in the outlook for the global economic order. Trump's flip-flop on tariffs paired with volatility in Japan's bond markets sent US stocks and bonds bouncing around. Wall Street's fear gauge saw its biggest daily surge since October before reversing course. The S&P 500 had its worst day since October on Tuesday, followed by its best day since November on Wednesday. Other markets reflect lingering angst. Gold, a haven amid uncertainty, smashed through records this week and had its biggest weekly gain in almost 6 years. The US dollar, one proxy for investors' confidence in America, had its worst week since May. And finally, in the currency markets, it costs 157 Jamaican dollars and 73 cents to buy $1 US. It costs 212 Jamaican dollars and 36 cents to buy £1 British pound. And finally, it costs 114 Jamaican dollars and 22 cents to buy $1 Canadian dollar. That's the business report. I'm Mahiri Stewart. Stay tuned for the nation's business.
This is an important announcement from Kingston Wharves. Kingston Wharves advises the public of a scam that has come to their attention. Unscrupulous persons posing as company representatives are advertising repossessed cars for sale. KWL wishes to re-emphasize the company is not in the business of selling cars. They ask members of the public to continue to exercise caution when transacting business. For further information, email customer.services@kwljm.com or call 876-618-1068.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? Geoland Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. Geoland Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
It's undeniable that we should be together.
The true beauty of music is that it connects people. It carries a message. It speaks to you. It changes you. And that's exactly what we do just for you every Sunday as we take you to Urban Paradise, 9:10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Urban Paradise is our weekly musical journey that will serve up 110 glorious minutes of positive storytelling through music, mixed in with inspirational features to provoke thought and to heal the soul.
You're like a dream come true, just wanna be with you.
So join me, Diane Ashton Smith, this and every Sunday, 9:10 a.m. to 11 a.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. Urban Paradise, opening our hearts, connecting to others.
It's the weekend and the youth are taking over the airwaves. Yes, we are the new voices and faces of the Talk Up You radio show. The voice of the Jamaican youth right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
After a busy week of work and school, come and wine with Jamaica's #1 youth radio show.
We're bringing you entertainment, fun facts, and staying true to youth development and advocacy.
Catch the action each and every Saturday as we roll out buzzy segments. What say you?
Youth for chat.
Life skills.
Global Connect.
And
Bust the Youth.
That's the Talk Up Youth radio show. Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth. Don't miss it.
We're back with you on Nationwide at 5. It's time for the nation's business. I'm Ricardo Brooks. Prof?
And I'm Professor Donna Hope, and we're still talking about the children, Ricardo. But now we're looking at a UK study on children and what has been found about these children when they're starting schools, which has some implications for us here in Jamaica and the region. So a recent survey done in the United Kingdom found that nearly a third of children who recently started school without being ready, they were not school ready. The survey found that there were students who did not know how to use books properly. It says the children attempted to swipe the books, mimicking actions they would take when using a phone or a tablet.
Many of the students also lacked basic life skills such as not being potty trained, and they could not eat or drink independently. The teachers in the 1,000 school survey said they lost significant teaching time each day, helping children with basic needs.
Over half of them blamed excessive screen time by children and parents as a key factor. The issue is being described as a systemic crisis linked to stretched resources, cost of living pressures, low expectations, and limited parental guidance. And so we are turning now to local educators here in Jamaica and the region on this issue. Is too much screen time hindering the development of our children? And we are being joined to help us through this discussion this evening by former chairman of the Early Childhood Commission, Professor Maureen Sams-Vaughan. Good afternoon, good evening, Professor Sams-Vaughan.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. Yes. It's
evening.
evening. And we also have my colleague from the Faculty of Humanities and Education, Professor Zoya Kincaid-Clark. Good evening. Good evening, Professor.
Good evening.
Yes. Good evening. Yes, and I'm not sure if you have seen this study. I actually had a quick look through at it coming out of Savanta, and the study was done in the United Kingdom, in particular in England and Wales. But the findings are still have some implications for us here in the region, in Jamaica. We are also now caught up with technology and the value of it for children. So should we be concerned about these kind of findings from the UK, that many children are starting school without basic life skills?
I believe yes. I believe yes. When we see these kinds of trends, we need to understand and think about it from our perspective, because our children too are impacted by heavy use of technology, and so it's important for us to think about the implications. We do know that many of our children have access to tablets, and they use tablets on a frequent basis for many hours in the day. Likewise, many parents also model the use of screen time for several hours in the day. So the implications are significant.
Mm-hmm. And when you say the implications are significant, should we be limiting the time that they spend on these devices, Professor Sams Vaughan?
Well, I'd like to first clarify some of the research that we have available, apart from the one you just mentioned. And the research has to be considered in three areas. How it depends on, one, the child, two, the context, and three, the content. So children of different ages, the research is clear that children of different ages, the impact is different. Not much of it is positive, very little of it is positive, but the impact varies quite significantly, and that's why the recommendations are as they are. For example, that children under the age of 18 months should have absolutely no screen time. I'm horrified sometimes that I'm talking to parents and these little babies are on screens for 6-8 hours per day. Mm-hmm. It impairs their social development. It impairs their language development when they are so young. Children need context. They need someone's face. They need emotion. They need all of this in order to learn and for their brains to develop well. So, as children get older, then you have different impacts. When they get to 2 to 5 years, you start having behavioral problems. You start having limited vocabulary, even if the TV is playing in the background and the child is passively hearing it. It impairs language development. So, when you get to adolescence, it's a whole different ballgame with mental health problems, anxiety, depression, suicide. But it's all about excess, except for children under the age of 2 years, where there should be none at all. After that, it's all about excess. And excess is difficult to control now. You see, when there was one television in the house, it was, or none at all, it was easy to control screen time. Now screen time is easily accessible.
Yeah. One of the concerns, though, Professor Sam Vaughan, and I'm from narrative and from what we see on the ground, and I'll also, Professor Kincaid Clark, I'd like your take on this. Tablets have become a very common part of the socialization of children. And so for many baby showers, for example, if you look on some of the lists that are sent out, a tablet is a part of the expectation. So babies are being socialized basically from they are born to the efficacy of a tablet. And so the games that they are being socialized through are on these tablets, the films, the movies, the videos, even the way that their language develops. Many of them begin to sound like some of the characters in the things that they are watching on these tablets. And
that's
so
quite true.
Yes, so the Peppa Pig sound and there's a lot of young children now who have a particular inflection that is coming directly from some of these, games and these tablets and the technology that they're exposed to. Have we done research in our region, in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, that speaks to some of these challenges?
I did research many years ago that only addressed television, and it was in teenagers, and it absolutely showed that after more than 2 hours of television per day, children's academic performance decreased. And that was our research. The research actually mirrored what was found in the U.S., and that's why the restriction for adolescents is about 2 hours per day. not more than that. The Broadcasting Commission did a huge public education campaign years ago using that data, but I think that it is time that we revisit this. There needs to be a whole lot more public education on how harmful screen time is, particularly for young children, but it also has implications for the older child.
Yeah. Professor Kincaid Clark, could what we're seeing be as a result of the fact that the parents just don't know how to parent anymore, and it's perhaps easier to give the child a tablet and let them get on with it? Professor Kincaid Clark? Oh, we lost her. Professor Sams Vaughan, you want to take that one for me?
Okay. Yes, so I'm often out and I see, for example, you're in a supermarket, you're somewhere and the child is not learning from the environment around them. The child is sitting focused on a tablet. But, the research again is very clear that what children learn from a tablet, they would learn it far quicker if a parent or another adult were talking with them about it. Their ability to reproduce and their ability to connect and to expand from their learning is greater if it's done face to face. In fact, there is an article in The Economist of this week that says that EdTech hasn't really shown significant benefits, particularly for literacy.
Yeah. Professor Kincaid Clark is back. I want to hear her on that question of whether parents are just abdicating their responsibilities because the tablet allows them to do so.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. So it can be the use of the tablet if the parent is there to support the child. And obviously, as Prof Sams Vaughan said, it depends on the age of the child. If the parent is just using the tablet to keep the child occupied, then clearly that is a case of abdication.
Yes.
But if the parent is there with the child, talking the child through what they're seeing, explaining things to the child as they're watching it, then it can be used to support learning. So it really depends on how it is being used.
Yeah. Should we be limiting the times, and is there any prescribed or ideal amount of time a child should let's say the younger ones, the ones who are entering early childhood with the formative years, is there any prescription as to how much screen time they should be having?
Well, there is, and it's based on the research, the child development research that's out there. And between 0 and 18 months, it's 0. The child should not be exposed to screens at all.
So before 18 months, no screens?
No screen time.
No television, no tablet?
Nothing.
No smartphone, nothing.
Nothing at all. Except for if dad goes away, for example, an adult that they know and are accustomed to seeing, FaceTime with a known adult for social interaction. That's it.
Okay.
I think one of the things
between 18 and 24 months, because just what Professor Kincaid just mentioned, if the parent is engaging with the child, it makes a huge amount of difference. But that's not how most parents use the tablet.
Right.
So if a parent is engaging with a child between 18 and 24 months, it can actually improve some learning and improve some social skills. But that's why I mentioned the child, the context, and the content, because it has to be high quality content. And good.
And what do you mean by high quality content, Professor Sams Vaughan?
It needs to be interactive. It should be educational based or teaching social stories or social interactions. All right, it can't just be just some of the cartoons that's going to expose children to violence, for example. It can't be that.
Yeah.
All right, so there are some very good programs that do teach some social skills. But again, it has...
No, we've lost her?
Have we lost her?
This is.
Do we have Professor Kincaid?
Yeah, Professor Kincaid Clark.
I want to pose a question because we are focusing on the tablets and the technology. But one of the things the research spoke about, this particular piece of research from Savanta, is that children didn't understand how to use books, and I find that very concerning. So they were trying to swipe the books in the way that they would use a tablet. So they had never been exposed, and these were the very young children. They had never been exposed to books at all, apparently, and this was now the first time. So they couldn't understand how to use books. How do you position that in a conversation, Professor Kincaid Clark? Because it is something else we're concerned about. Should we be reintroducing books in the home, or trying to ensure that before the children go to school that they are exposed to the other forms of knowledge transfer beyond the tablets and those types of technology?
All right, that's a very interesting question, and you use the term reintroduce. Books should never have been taken out of homes. So children, typically, we know that many children have books in the homes, but books, if they're not being used, become useless. So it's important, one of the things we encourage parents to do is to read for your child and read books. Children model what they see adults doing. So if they see you reading the newspaper, they're going to follow through on that. They're going to model what you're doing. And so if you as an adult, if you are only using a screen, and if children only have experience with reading on a screen, then a book is going to be something that's novel to them. So you can understand that if you're not exposed to something, you won't know how to use it. And so what it means is that if their homes are deficient in books, then the school has to take up that. And it's unfortunate because as families and parents don't teach those necessary skills, schools have to take on more of the responsibility to do so. But for many children, most of the children under 18 months and under, many of them are not in the school setting, many of them are not in the child care setting. And so it means, therefore, that that parents would have that responsibility. So I say to parents something as simple as a little cardboard book, a hard book, a soft book, whatever it is, so children can see you reading and be intentional. Go through with them, explain to them. Because I guess it's the same way as though when all parents when we were transitioning from slate and chalk to a book and pencil, there was a disconnect for a while. And so it just depends on what you're familiar with.
Yes.
Yeah. But Professor Samsvon, am I wrong in thinking that I see a move in the schools towards the screen over the board and the chalk? Because it seems to me that there are some schools now that are telling you that you should bring a device to school, and we've started talking about the introduction of things like smart boards. How do you view that and the introduction of those things into the classroom?
Well, there's nothing wrong.
No.
So the technology certainly can be an advantage in the classroom. So when schools put on the book list and say that, okay, you need to have a tablet, if the tablet is being used for educational purposes, for research, to engage and support the teaching and learning process, then it is an advantage. But if the screen is being used to facilitate the teaching and learning without any engagement with a live, warm teacher, then that can be problematic. And especially for young children, because we talk a lot about the importance of interaction. And interactions are where children and adults, a responsive caregiver with children or with a child, that allows the child to get the feedback and response. Because communication and interactions occur almost like a tennis match. You hit the ball, I hit it back. You hit the ball, I hit it back. And so if I'm only hitting the ball and nobody's there to respond, then the advantages and the benefits of interactions are lost. So there's nothing wrong with the technology. It is how it's being used. So there has to be ethical usage, responsible usage of the technology, and it can be a significant advantage to children.
Yeah.
Yes. I think one of the other points, Professor Samsvaughan and Professor Kincaid Clark, that was raised in that study was that a lot of the children that were coming into the school system, the younger ones, were also not ready in terms of their ability to be they were not fully potty trained. And so, for example, the teachers were losing a lot of hours of teaching time, helping children with their basic needs to, help them to take care of themselves. And we have seen, even in our culture, where we have children now running around in pull-up pants type things in the first several years of the K-Kinder 1, 2, 3. This seems to be, and the studies I think is matching that with the kind of behavioral and developmental conversation that is having, along with the readiness for use of books over the technology. Is there some kind of relationship there between children being potty trained properly or ready for that kind of being outside of the home and the technology, overuse of technology, as the study may be implying? Are they connected?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, screen time. What it
may mean is that if parents are neglecting in one area, it is quite likely. That's really what the connection could be, because if you are able to use technology and you're very good at it, or you're exposed to it, it doesn't mean that you can't develop other basic life skills such as potty training. What it may mean is that if a parent uses and defaults to the tablet, it may mean, I'm not saying it does, but it may mean that the parent is going to perhaps default on teaching potty training. So we do know that children, generally speaking, on average, but typically developed children without special needs, perhaps, children can learn to be potty trained between 18 months to about age 3. And so, they will have accidents, but between that period is when most children are potty trained. Now, there are some children who are potty trained before, and then there are some children who will be potty trained a little later. But children on average, generally speaking, parents will say to you, once a child, old-time parents will say, when a child is able to talk and once he understands and is able to indicate that, hey, something is happening, that is a good sign that he or she is ready to be potty trained. But we do know that some parents also believe that the school should be responsible. In Jamaica, many schools will say that children cannot attend unless they're potty trained. And there are some issues with that that I believe, we need to think about. But we are seeing, the literature is telling us, the research is telling us that children are being potty trained later and later. That parents are expecting the school to take on that.
All right. Professor Maureen Samsvaughan, former chair of the Early Childhood Commission and professor at the School of Education at the UWI Mona, Zoya Kincaid Clark. Thank you so much for the perspectives. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a minute after 7. We're going to go for a break. Come back with your calls, yes? 630-937-124, 618-6730.
It's time for Hot Listings, Nationwide 90 FM's on-air classifieds, made for quick ads and fast results.
Airbnb just 5 minutes from Norman Manley Airport. Enjoy a 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom home or book individual rooms. Features include air conditioning, hot water, a full kitchen and kitchenette, Wi-Fi, comfortable beds and on-site parking. Perfect for families, groups or quick overnight stays. Call or WhatsApp us on 876-570-0408. That's 876-570-0408. Black 2016 Honda Vezel for sale. Clean, reliable, and ready to go. Serious inquiries only. Contact the Short Youth at 876-446-8233. That's 876-446-8233.
That was Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM. Listings start as low as $1,500. Call 876-630-1210 to book yours today.
Jamaica, we have been tested before, and every time we rise. Together, we will rebuild stronger, safer, and united. Hope lives here. The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is
3 minutes after 7.
The National Rural School Bus Program is getting smarter. With your child's student ID card, parents receive real-time notifications every time they board or exit the bus. Each card is unique and securely linked to the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth, and Information database. Tap on, tap off, and parents stay updated instantly. So, how do you register? Number 1, visit jamaica-district.mysmartterm.com/bus-portal/registration. Number 2, enter your child's details. Number 3, upload supporting documents. Number 4, submit your application. It's that easy. Safer, smarter, more secure. Register today and ride with peace of mind.
We're taking your calls now, 630-9371-24, 618-6730. Omalo is first. Good evening, Omalo.
Hi, Omalo. Good evening.
Good evening, Professor. Good evening, Ricardo. Ricardo, listening to that, the Prime Minister from Canada speech in Davos, it's a very, very good insight as to see inside this whole geopolitics that is going on, and to understand how these people think now and used to think back then. And that speech is a very telling speech, you know. A very telling one. And some of the times you feel so glad for what Donald Trump is sometimes really doing, although some of the time it's really sad for what he's doing. Because listening to the Canadian Prime Minister, if an African president or leader or a Caribbean leader was giving that speech, it would be more genuine to me to consider to join the side of that leader. But the only reason why we hear Canada or Europe talking about anything when it comes on to the US is because they are feeling what we were always feeling when they were sitting at the table and the US was doing it to us. It was okay because they were benefiting. No, they're feeling it on their neck because he's stepping on everybody's neck the same way. And now they are squealing. How can we trust them?
Hear you, Omalo.
Yeah, you know, I'm just asking you your opinion. How can we really trust them?
Well, I think you're right that the global order has shifted in a way that it's now affecting those who were for a long time protected. For example, the NATO countries. I don't think they ever thought that the United States would seemingly become unreliable. So you're right,
and they used to support everything that used to hurt us. And now they are calling on us to join with them to create something to go against the system that used to hurt us, they used to support.
I think that was Tyrone and I were having a conversation about this, and I think that was Tyrone's position that he didn't find it particularly persuasive because, as you said, they benefited from that system. Yes.
It's an insight of what really is happening to them, and because it is squeezing them, they are squealing out loud, and they are telling you how they are thinking of how the game used to benefit them, and now it's hurting them, and that's the only reason why they are talking about it. Otherwise, when it was okay when they were all at the table, we ain't got to talk about it.
Thanks for the call, Amalo.
Thanks, Amalo. Thanks, Amalo. Shifting geopolitical times, and at the end of all of this, I'm sure the world will look very different, Ricardo. Let's see what comes out of it.
Yeah. Bobby.
Yes. Hi, Bobby.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Prof.
Good evening, yes.
Good evening. Yes, Ricardo.
Yes, sir.
I had wanted to take on you and my good friend last night, but I was stuck in a Zoom meeting when the Q&A was going on Nationwide. I noticed a matter came up where some of the callers called and they were criticizing this particular journalist from a certain media house. And I noticed you and Ricardo was there taking up for it. Yes, I know that journalists normally back journalists, you know. But remember, do you remember the time when this particular journalist at a press briefing with the Ministry of Health and Wellness asked the minister a very ridiculous question?
Why was the question ridiculous?
You never remember it?
I remember the question, but I'm asking you, why was it ridiculous?
But imagine, how is it you can be there dealing with the country's affairs with the minister and his technical team and gone into the man's personal life to really damage his family? And that very day until now, I said to myself, although Nationwide journalists and I were good friends, but I said to myself, from that very day, journalism get a blow in Jamaica. And I know you and Cliff, Tyrone and the whole won't agree with me, but I'm telling you.
No, I don't know if journalism
get a blow in Jamaica.
Nationwide get a blow?
No.
No, he said journalism.
Journalism, I'm sorry. Journalism get a blow in Jamaica.
I don't know if I agree. I don't know
why would you say that though? Why would you say that journalism got a blow for journalists asking questions?
Look.
What was the intent of her question? What was she getting at?
The fact is, up until now, the nation don't know what was she getting at.
Oh, you don't know?
No, up until now.
Oh, I see.
And look here, and remember, after that press briefing, I think it was Cliff and Tyrone had called her and questioned her.
What I will agree with you on is that the question was poorly framed. She was trying to get at something, but the route she took was incorrect.
Exactly.
But I don't know that it was a blow to journalism at all. I wouldn't have asked the question that way. And I think it was clear what she was getting at. But that being said, as it relates to Zara, you can't use one question to say that she's a poor journalist, as some of your colleagues on the YouTube channel have been saying. She's not a poor journalist. That is not true. It's just not true. She's good at what she does. And because you disagree, right? And let me give you an example. Of how if we go down this road, it don't lead us to anywhere. In the election campaign, I was blacklisted from asking questions in the national debates on the perception that my questions leaned a particular way, or may lean a particular way, or would lean a particular way. I had not discussed what I may ask with anybody. Nobody knew what I was going to ask, but there was an assumption. In the same way, and this is perhaps why, as you say, journalists back each other, because it's a two-edged sword. So you don't like Zara because you think her political persuasion is one way, and there are people who don't like me because they think my political persuasion is one way. So if we allow you to come here and bash Zara unrestricted, what is to stop somebody from writing in the paper or going on another platform and doing the same thing to me? And why would I allow that? You understand what I'm saying? It opens a door that just can't be shut. It can't be shut.
But the fact is, Ricardo, remember I said, I am not calling no name.
Yeah, you're talking about Zara Burton.
Right? But, Ricardo, you look into it now, Ricardo. Can a journalist come on the air dealing with the public business and asking the minister?
And I said to you, it was clear, certainly to me, what Zara was trying to get at.
It was none of her business.
The way the question was posed, I think, was wrong. but I don't know that it was entirely without merit. I don't know that.
You see, and well, we can agree to disagree. And the other final thing that I want to talk about, you see, is that the issue with the university hospital, and I noticed Dr. Dawes has been very strident on the matter, knowing well that one of the opposition MP whose company has been called into question.
No, certainly not the Auditor General. The Auditor General has named no companies.
No. I was saying an MP on the opposition side, company.
Yes.
Right. Named.
Named where?
Named where?
Right.
Where was it named?
No. Remember that particular member of parliament, his company was named in the media.
About what?
Well,
indeed. Well is right.
No.
Hold on. And you see me telling you now. Let me just be clear. The Auditor General has named no company in any report. And as far as I know, Nationwide has not reported that any company in relation to the UHWI matter. I don't know if Nationwide reporting any such thing. So I don't know where you're getting this from, but it's not in the report that was tabled in Parliament. And the station has not reported that.
No, I never said that. Nationwide reported.
You say they have been named, and Professor asked you a while ago, named where?
Named where,
and by
right?
who?
Yeah. And remember that we also, in terms of these kinds of declarations in the media, we have to tread very carefully, because until a declaration is made publicly from the Auditor General or some similar source, the media houses like Nationwide and others have to tread very carefully. We will not be speculating and calling names and, fingering people, because we are at risk of being sued for all kinds of things. So we tread very carefully while this matter unfolds.
Well, that is the reason why I did not call no name. But what I was trying to get at, I want the investigative body to investigate it down to the crumbs and let the chip fall where they may.
Okay.
That is what I was trying to get at.
Reasonable.
All right. Good, thank you. That's
right.
a reasonable request. Indeed, Ricardo, it's reasonable. Yes, indeed.
Faithful,
hello.
hello.
Things happening.
Good evening, my parishioner. Good evening, Mr. Brooks.
Good evening.
Good evening, Faithful. Yes.
Well, right. I wish not to defend Miss Burton, but JFD have a press conference yesterday, and Mr. Morgan was agreeing.
I think it was day before yesterday.
And Mr. Morgan was agreeing with most of what Ms. Burton was saying. So why are we having a problem with that then? And if Mr. Morgan was agreeing with most of what he said? And Mr. Morgan was saying yes, indeed they need to put up.
No, but I don't know if that nullifies the point she was making. That the fact that the parliamentary secretary agreed, I don't think it means that the problem doesn't exist.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You're saying, so why are people criticizing her?
Right.
Oh, okay, I get you. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
I am saying that if a person who in charge admit the fact that I said they need to improve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So why is that the college have not so great a problem?
I don't know.
Come on, man. Anyway, I never really thought about that. But it cannot be every night you say the same thing and they have no start going to stand, and why keep repeating the same thing? I was listening to a news item yesterday when Mr. Trump was saying on Fox that NATO and the European Union have not helped America and the war that America fight. America did not need NATO. And when they went to Afghanistan, the rest of European was in the background. America was the one that only in front fighting the war. You don't think Mr. Trump is one of the most ungrateful and unthankful person ever be an American president?
I think the British Prime Minister said as much today. I don't know if you saw his statement. He said it was appalling.
Yes. I think
because the truth is, a lot of countries lost soldiers fighting America's war. I think Britain lost something like 400 and odd in Afghanistan.
Since NATO farm.
It's the only time that Article 5, is it, has been invoked.
And it
was after 9/11.
And it was like second part to fight for America. And yesterday, America say they could have done. Trump said they could have done it without them, and they did not need them.
Yeah. It was a shocking comment for him to make.
Come on, man.
And not only shocking, it was just not true. It's not true.
And you really part about it. Right. Most personally, and the right wing in America, they just keep the mouth shut and they seal. And the liquor, I don't know much about church. The liquor I know about history now. When a country want to fail, and that's where they start from. They start to flip. They start to fight their own self. Because the person who is willing to help you, that's the person you start to fight first. And you tear away every supporting force that you have, and you feel with yourself that you're so big and mighty that you don't need nobody. You can't do everything by yourself. But if I were America, I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be so ashamed.
Yeah.
And when I just started to listen to America, this guy in America, this news, and the O'Reilly factor, and that guy lose the sense of marriage that I used to look up to. His program nowadays more like a defending Trump more than things, not the truth as is a show.
I'll tell you something, and that's an interesting argument you raised there, Faithful, and perhaps, Prof, it's something to study. How media generally now, because the societies are becoming echo chambers, media houses are, and I'm criticizing all of us now, are perhaps playing to the gallery. And it's possible, Faithful, that truth is being sacrificed in that, because you no longer, for example, let me use the YouTubers as an example. If you say something on this platform that they don't like, they abuse you in all kinds of ways. And it's frankly inappropriate and appalling. And that kind of behavior, consciously or subconsciously, can cause people to become, they just pigeonholed, and you know, they just say one thing. So, for example, Fox News. Fox knows that the people who listen to them think a particular way. And so they're in an echo chamber, and they just reinforce those ideas to them and reinforce those ideals to them. And they don't have to step outside of that. There is no need. And they keep the audience there. And then, of course, there's a monetary reason for that, because you need the audience, because you have the ads and then the station. So that kind of a thing is happening. You're right. CNN, MSNBC, same thing. And media houses in Jamaica are starting to move in that direction. Which is why I have said it, Prof. Cliff disagrees with me, and I know a lot of my colleagues in media disagree with me. We perhaps must go to the point now where media houses take editorial positions to say what the political ideology or leaning of the media houses.
I have been
because I think, I frankly, and this is just me personally, that we have reached a stage where I don't know what we're doing anymore, really, but that's just me.
But I want to tag into what people is saying, because one of the things I've been having conversations, and I try not to have them in some of these discussions because, as you say, people make all kind of assumptions. But I like to remind people that there has been this huge discussion, and I noticed Jamaicans do it a lot, and we talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the face of an administration that is supporting what he's doing. He did not hijack an election. He was the representative of the Republican Party. He was supported. And because our algorithms in social media and our media houses here have a particular focus, the demonizing, we make assumptions about an entire society that supported him in a majority and is still supporting him. And I asked my students this question today, and I'll ask the YouTubers, how many people in the USA do you see blocking roads and holding up signs on behalf of countries that are being abused by their administration? You have to be very careful how you think and speak, not just about the individual face of an administration, but what it represents as a kind of overarching feeling and ideology of a society.
Right.
In the majority, he could not do these things alone. We must be very careful how we talk about that. So the US is recalibrating itself. The global world order is being pushed and prodded. What will come out of it? We are working towards something. Those of us in the region, our dependents and neighbor strings are being chopped and cut, and we're being battered and bruised. We are trying to see what will happen beyond this. I'm reading some articles. The USA has come out of the WHO, the World Health Organization. They're cutting ties with them. Right. What? And that's not Donald Trump. That is the United States of America. What does that mean?
Yeah.
We need to think about that.
And the thing is, the point you make, Prof, about this is the United States of America. I think for a long time, Donald Trump is the creation of a society where people felt they couldn't speak the truth. And whether you agree that the truth is the truth, they couldn't speak their mind. Let's put it that way. They couldn't speak their mind. The political correctness silenced them. Yes. And, here came this person who just said what he wanted to say and he didn't care. And the norms that conformed people to behaving a particular way, that's not what they wanted to do. And elites in media, in the society, set down these rules. I don't know that the majority of people ever agreed with. It's same in Jamaica, A lot of times in the media, I hear some views and I'm thinking, the majority of Jamaicans don't agree with this, But we accept it, lock, stock, and barrel as the truth. And that's why I keep saying, Donald Trump may well have won an election in Jamaica. He would win an election in Jamaica. I think so.
But Ricardo,
because tell me this. How is our attitude to the Haitians coming here different from how Donald Trump has treated immigrants in the United States? You just go on any social media and you see that Haitians have landed, send them back now. Send them back at them. How is that different?
We don't want them
here. How is that different?
All of that.
They might bring disease, they might bring crime. How is it different? But we tell ourselves it's different. So
also, when Mr. Canadian Prime Minister speaking at the forum, he said that the taxes that Trump did, I call it taxes, that Mr. Trump put on him.
That's the tariffs.
Right.
Tariffs.
It does not affect him monetary, because he must gain something like 20%. And China say he make over $1 trillion. So which country, with the tariffs that Mr. Trump put on, which country it will affect them so bad that they cannot survive? In my mind, it more affect America. And
that's traditional economics, that tariff hurt the country that imposes them,
Usually it hurts that country, yes.
But most of the right wing in America is too sad to see. They cannot see that because they have a way.
I don't know that they can't see that. I think they know that. But politically, it's probably not sensible to resist Donald Trump.
No, that's dynamic. When I say they cannot see, they see, but they don't want to accept it because they try to please Trump. Because if it is the Fox News and Bill O'Reilly and them, everything that Trump did, everything that Trump do, they try to explain it away. They try to make an excuse for it and turn it around and try to blame it on Democrats. and the point that you make, Ricardo, with us media in Jamaica, when you say you're advocates for people to stand up and say who they are. I've been saying that from day on, but most people say in Jamaica it's too small, it cannot happen. But we are only fooling ourselves because the real reason is we can say what we want, but people know who we are. Because the more we pretend, the more people know we are more. And the people see us as being a hypocrite. Because we don't really project the truth of who we are, and we are in a bubble, the thing that people don't know who we are. They already know who we are.
And so that is why I'm saying, Prof, probably something to study, because I think there's something there, Faithful, about how people perceive the media and what it means for media legitimacy. I think there is something there, but we'll see.
Yes, there's probably some study that could be done.
All right, Faithful, thanks for the call.
Thanks for the call. Very provocative call, Ricardo. Who we have next again?
Delroy.
Yes. Hi, Delroy. Yes, good evening, Delroy. Yes.
Good
evening, Delroy.
Not hearing you clearly, Delroy.
You're kind of, you're muffled, yes.
Yeah, can you hear much better now?
Yes, much better.
Yes.
Yes, first thing I have to say, some of those people down there in Jamaica that using long line, must understand when people hold in, it's not easy for people to hold in like that because I've done 12 US minutes. I just call 5 more minutes to go because they hold the line too long.
All right, you have us now, Leroy. Where are you calling from? Where in the US are you calling from?
I'm in the TCI.
In the where?
TCI.
Oh, you're in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah.
How are things over that side?
Pretty quiet at the moment. You know, 6 bail is here, you know. You don't know, you don't.
I see you're recording significant reductions in murders, man.
No,
Yeah,
significant. And you're getting the gangs in order. You're getting all the people who live in the bush there and them sorting them out very well.
Well, I tell you something, people are afraid to leave their house open, but they can't sleep with their house door open now.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah, well, trust me, it was running real hot here, but I mean, Jamaica police deal with it, you know?
No, that's
yes. Very good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What I want to say, see, is that I know anything happen. The first person in the parliament, whenever people reach the parliament, it was the PNP jump out on it. We have with I think for Integrity Commission reached the office, and I mean, up to this moment, we don't hear nothing from the PNP about it. We only hear Alfred come out and start to put out things. I mean, before
it's the Auditor General.
Yes, the Auditor General put out something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before they finish the investigation, we see Alfred does come out and start on it. So I don't understand how that's going on because if them have a talk in Jamaica said when you fling stone in a hog pen, anyone cry is the one get the lick.
No, I don't think so. I don't think in this case. Listen, I'd recommend to people to read that report, and it's an absolute scandal. There's a part of the report that deeply troubles me, for example, regarding some cops, I think it was,
yes,
where the taxes exempt status was used to purchase cops, and I think they ended up paying something like maybe don't hold me to this figure, maybe $600,000, right? And after they imported the cops using the hospital's tax exempt status and got the waiver, they ended up selling back the cops to the hospital for $6 million. That is an absolute scandal, and somebody should go to prison for that. Because that's what, 10 times?
Yes.
So you use the hospital's privileges, you bring something in, and then sell it back to the hospital 10 times the cost of what you illegally use the privilege to do? Then a thief is that, no straight thieving that, Prof?
A lot needs to be cleaned up. And
it is an absolute scandal. So people should take that report very seriously. And I hope that the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament or the Administration and Appropriations Committee calls in UWI and the Auditor General because
HWI.
Yes, because I want the members of Parliament to directly put it to the Auditor General under the privilege of Parliament. Who are these companies? They should be named. And in that privileged space, the Auditor General should name them. Who are the companies? Who are the people who defrauded the government of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica? It is a scandal. It really is. So people should read it.
Yes. University
Hospital of the West Indies.
It's
yes.
not U, it's
UHWI. Yes,
please,
absolutely.
Thank you. Yes.
J.A.?
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Good night, yes.
Yeah, I have two issues. I'm not a bright person. I'm just trying nothing. I'm not bright as you guys. Anyway, I want to ask one question. I'm talking about the bad roads. I want to ask one question. Until the experience I had on bad road and the taxi. Some people are driving me feel offended, but I'm just saying this. How many people died last year on the road? It was 300 and something?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? From 270 something accidents. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, man, that's right.
Yeah, I'm not on the road, right? I'm an indoor person. I'm 67. I have one burning question to ask. All these accidents, can you calculate and check how many accidents happen on those smooth sailing good roads compared to the bad roads?
You know, that's a very because you know that's a very good point. J.A. That's your name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you see, you know why? Because people say it's a road cause the accident and it's a bad road, but that's the, you know, Ricardo, we need to get some stuff. But you know, most of these accidents, road don't really cause accidents. You know, it's what happens on the road. I find that they're not necessarily about just the road, whether it's good or bad. It's what happens on the road. But you're right. We should check on whether it's a bad road have more accidents, where they have crash hotspots in Westmoreland and some of these areas. How many of them have bad areas? And we need to do some more work, Ricardo, and listeners, on identifying some of the root causes, because we really are going bad with the accidents. Let me tell you.
Is it Mona Informatics? I think they had done a thing, you know, where they mapped where the hotspots were.
Speeding,
yes,
overtaking, and then have these narratives. Do road.
Thank you.
All right, my second thing is this now. Okay, I have an experience. It wasn't real me, but I was standing there. A car going up pothole. Some people was in the car. It was a taxi, of course. And they go and jerk and the doors fly open, and even a lady foot fly out and you know what I see that taxi man did? He came out the car and look around the car to see if in tire burst or in bumper leak, and then never look on the passenger if the passenger was injured. So I'm just saying this to say that I'm not a driver, you guys are a driver, yeah? But I'm saying this to say that the concern about the vehicle on the road that's been mashed up, I mean the work out per money and car parts is very expensive. But they don't care about the life. I always tell me, I love bad road, you know, because bad road saves a lot of lives.
Because they have to slow down.
But they have to know, but you know that nowadays, because people are like, there was this accident
but hold on, Prof.
and them swerving from bad road and run up into vehicle at park. So the bad road people taking out, is this because you made the point, you know, J.A., the speeding and the recklessness.
Yeah, I think it is speeding and the recklessness, because even
but you said the bad road save life, which
because
is
the good roads have speed limits, and people are not obeying them.
They're not obeying them. But you see, the point to make is right. They slow down when they know the road bad, because you have to take your time and go through the road.
So bad road save life. All the interested to know that the tire don't burn.
It mash up your vehicle, do you know?
Them bumper don't mash up. Them front end don't lit. And
front end mash up, man.
They're crying because their stomach is lit up on the front part. We don't know vehicle part, the front part. They don't care about them that. Then just looking if them vehicle mash up. So me, I don't agree with the bad roads, you know, I understand, because you have people, and you know that the parts, as I said earlier, is very expensive. But I was listening, I listen every night to the program. As a matter of fact, confused program make me eat breakfast late, and make me go bed late.
I hope you don't make you get bad stomach. If you get bad stomach, send the bill to him. Send the bill to Nationwide.
Yes, so check again, Miss Hope and Ricardo.
Yes.
Just do calculation and look on the accident. How much accident upon bad road? It is not the new, smooth, nice road, then the accident happened.
All right, Jay.
All right, Jay.
Thank you for the call.
Man. Bless you for that call. I thought we
Carl.
have to do something about it.
Good evening, Carl.
Good evening, Carl. Evening, Carl. How you do?
Ricardo.
Yes, sir.
You notice how all of the human wrongs them keep themselves far away from what is happening at the youth. They keep all meeting since week, you know, they said none of them don't have nothing to say about it.
I haven't seen a statement from NIA or
very much. Miss Hope,
and I don't think I've seen a statement from Jump either.
Ask Miss Hope if you see anything.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Okay,
nothing at all.
Because you know why they can't come with anything? If shoes is on the wrong foot.
But tell me something, because all of you have been hinting at one company, but there are four companies. Four of them. So who are the other three?
Ricardo, because we can't call people name Ricardo.
That is why I say we should wait until the Auditor General goes before the Parliament and the MPs should ask for the companies to be named, and then we can stop this hint, nudge.
Ricardo, I miss hope. You remember how every little thing where used to happen, how they know integrity, they would have jump out and say, resign, go clear your name. And then keep a meeting since week, and then stay far away from this. And stay very far.
But no, the meeting that happened this week, Carl, the background is terrible.
Carl, the noise background is very
The meeting that happened this week was about the Access to Information Act, Carl. So I don't know that I agree with you.
Any other time, Ricardo, then have to squeeze it. If I did it on the JLP side, Ricardo, then have to squeeze it in.
Well, just to be clear, again, I don't know who the 4 companies are. So, yeah. But I have not seen a statement from NIA or JAMP on the matter.
Anyhow,
yes.
You remember the Jill argument? What was the Jill argument? The Jill, the $21 million, the Jill.
That would have been a procurement issue as well.
Right. And the Jill was $31 million. The jail was to help the kids they run about Samantia Hospital, don't you? Right. So, anywhere that they go, it was for benefit some little kids in our country. But if what we are hearing now,
no, hold on. But what do you mean? What do you mean? Anyway, that did go because the procurement rules were breached. You shouldn't excuse that.
Right. I agree with you, there, Ricardo.
Yeah.
But this year one, is more than breach.
Yeah, no, as I said, what is contained in the report is an absolute scandal, and somebody should be punished for it. It is disgraceful, actually. Blatant, as the kids would say, brawling.
I want to say something to you. I know you're so young. I say never know about the beating we go on a national arena. I don't say a little boy. You know one former Prime Minister in Jamaica near Eddie Siago?
Ricardo answer.
Right. Anyhow, he did one property in a sentence. And because he did one property in a sentence. And he leased it to somebody else to run a business. And he never stopped to realize that the GCT did a collect, but it never hand over to the government. And the comrades them beat that right till the day when he dead, that he must never see back Jamaica House. Because he collect the GCT and did not pay it over to the government.
Well, the company collected the GCT.
The company, right? The company. The company, they said it was Mr. Siago. Because him name was registered to pay the GCT, and I use that tonight to remind you that somebody's name was on a document and it removed the evening when the Auditor General tabled it. That's when the government tabled the document inside the Parliament. That's the evening. That looks shady to me. Something now add up. I use Eddie Siago one and carry your back right there.
Wait, what?
There's a loud background. I can't call your
Kyle, me can't hear what you say. Somebody did what?
I said Siago. It's a PO.
Yeah, me hear the Siaga part. He said something about tabled in Parliament and name removed.
The day when the Auditor General document tabled inside the Parliament is the day when people name move from off a document that was there for years. That doesn't fit well with me.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Carl has information that
doesn't fit right with me. They have sense.
All right.
All-time people have a say if you say, when you are dig hole, not dig one, dig two. But my friend Van St. Elizabeth, when you Alric, tell me say not even two if you dig again. A 6 if you dig, a 6 man bringing you back.
All right, Carl.
All right, Carl. Thank you. All right.
Stefan, good evening.
Good evening, Ricardo. Good evening, Professor Hope.
Good evening, Stefan.
Just to be fair, NIA and JAM did speak about the issue in regards to UWI.
Oh,
I don't remember them issuing a statement per se, but they spoke about it on television.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, man, because Miss Calder was on Morning Smile Jamaica, I believe.
Okay.
And I think both of them were on all angles.
I appreciate that. I didn't see that.
Right.
Thank you.
In regards to the thing that is happening at UWI, you just spoke on it not so long ago. UHWI, right.
Thank you.
UHWI,
yes.
Okay. Do you have any realistic hope, Ricardo, Professor Hope, of anyone being held accountable for what has occurred at this institution?
I don't, Stefan, and that is the absolute tragedy. I don't.
And I feel the same way, just like you.
Yes.
And
one of
really
the things, Ricardo and Stefan, the way, because the Auditor General has not named anyone, neither company nor individual, and so that way moving forward, it would depend on if this report is being taken beyond that for any kind of investigation for fraud. That would be a different...
Well, the fraud squad is supposed to be probing it because they were called in.
Probing there, but I'm saying beyond that, if there is going to be any further action. But as it stands now, we are just holding on to a report. There's a lot of things done. That's the problem.
These things, are
people are
hurtful,
angry.
You know why these things are hurtful?
People are angry, yes.
Yeah, because we have a tendency to look down on persons who live in certain communities, right? And we say that these persons are, what's the word I'm looking for? These persons are persons who commit a lot of crimes and stuff like that, right? And we always say that we should catch these persons and imprison them. And then you have a certain set of persons who live above a certain area who anything never seem to happen to them, because these persons are highly connected individuals.
Yes.
Right? And this thing is a recurring decimal, It's not the first this is happening. These things are recurring decimals. They keep happening, they keep doing it, nothing happens, and then they say they're going to put in committee and strengthen the institution, and then another few years down the road it happens again.
And I tell you something, Stefan, it's part of the reason why so many people have lost confidence in the systems, the official systems of the state, and why so many people do not participate in the process. I agree with you. It is a problem.
Exactly, Ricardo. Exactly. Let me tell you something quickly, guys. Right? I voted for the first time in my life in the election last year.
Oh, really?
Right? Yes, for the first time, and I'm not a youngster. Right? And the reason why I stayed on the fence is because I really didn't see anything to vote for.
Yes.
And I started following Mr. Holness. I discovered, I'm someone who follows politics, but not so much. But when Mr. Holness came into power, and I started seeing some of the things that he was doing and listening to what he was saying and stuff, I said, this person sounds like he could make a difference. And when I voted for him. I didn't vote for him.
How old are you? If you don't mind saying.
I'm in my 50s.
Okay. And this was the first time you were voting in September last year?
September last year, exactly.
Wow.
And when I voted last year, I voted for him. I did not vote for the MP.
Yes.
I voted for him.
Yes.
Right? And so, because I voted for him, I have a message for him tonight. Because I know sometimes they listen to the program. And I want to say to him, Dr. Holness, these issues have been occurring for far too long. You need to fix it. Whatever it takes, you need to fix it. These people cannot just be using taxpayers' money as they have a mind and they just walk off into the sunset with no repercussions. It has to stop.
Yes. I agree, Stephen.
Right? And the last thing I'll say, Dr. Holness, in another few years, may be reshuffling his cabinet, and it's probably time that he looks at Dr. Tufton. It's probably time he look at Dr. Tufton, because Dr. Tufton seems to be getting himself in some issues. I mean, I like the guy. I think he has done good work, but I think he's attracting too much baggage onto himself. So he should probably look at Dr. Tufton. All right? And
when you say look at him, what do you mean?
Well, he shuffled Marlene Mallow-Fort out of the cabinet in his wisdom. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's time he needs to look at Dr. Tufton and probably get somebody fresh.
You think he should relieve the health portfolio?
I believe so. Because I was listening to a program today,
yes,
and someone asked about Colon Regional,
yes,
and the way how he answered. I suppose he doesn't want to give any timeline because he has missed so many. But from what he found, believe me, it doesn't seem as if Cornwall or the adult or the children hospital will be ready until next year, fully ready. So I don't know. It's taking too long.
But why do you blame the minister for those things?
And that's the question, Ricardo, the minister.
The reason why because the minister gave us several deadlines. He is in charge of the portfolio. Ricardo, I have seen luxury hotels started after Cornwall and finished. I can't understand why it's taking so. You know, many persons said that they should have just knocked it down and built a new hospital, and I was saying no. But it seems as if maybe that should have been the right decision. It's taking too long. Are you saying to me that you can't get some more resources and get the hospital finished this year? It's taking too long. Dr. Tufton was talking about putting in ward space from 2024. Right? The admin staff, some of the admin staff moved in April last year. And we're coming up now to a new April 2026. And nothing else, no emergency and accident is not finished. No other section of the hospital is finished in almost 1 year. Too long, man.
Here is Stephen.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. John, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, John.
Good evening to yourself and Yoko and the professor. I am without water for a week. It's a private developer in St. James. And we have been getting the runaround from Sunday night. Tomorrow the pump will be fixed, and tomorrow. Anyway, I called the OUR this afternoon only to be told by the OUR that the guarantee standard is only applied to the to the National Water Commission. It doesn't apply to private water developers.
Yes, I think that's correct. Yes. I think the OUR only regulates the public public utilities.
So who regulates the private suppliers? So these people can pump sewage water to us in the pipes and there's no redress?
I would hesitate to answer that question because in truth I don't know, but I can check for you how that works.
All right. My second point is appealing to the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness. The time has come, sir, to rein in the NHT or break up the NHT. The NHT cannot and should not be allowed to go to investment with private developers. Some of these people, their track record deserve scrutiny, and then the NHT is the one who are certifying the houses. I give you an example. 80 days ago when the demon descended on us, I was in one of those schemes, and the ceiling is drywall. When the demon began shaking the house, because it was violent, it was brutal. When it began shaking the house, the entire drywall came down. And you know what? I was looking at zinc. Now, I've looked at about 250 houses. I've gone to Bow Village. I've gone to Iron Shore. I've gone to Petersfield. I've gone to Shoebury. And I haven't seen one house where drywall was inside and zinc was on top. What they do, they either use the T11 board or the ply board and and board the entire house. So even although the skyline in the west was lit or light up with tarpaulin, what you see some section, if the zinc even went or the shingle went, you would have probably one or two ply board or a couple board, but the entire thing didn't went. Now the NHT has to take responsibility for allowing a contractor that they went into some farmer partnership to build houses and put zinc on top of drywall.
That's a question that many people had coming out of the Hurricane Ricardo in terms of the standards, and what were some of the standards that were being used to deal with the properties that were being signed off on by the NHG that people invested their themselves into very seriously and ended up with quite a big loss. For our region, drywall, I was very surprised when I saw some of those residences that were NHD schemes and the fact that they had used drywall in the construction, whether inside internal walls or otherwise, because I assumed that most of the contractors who used those were doing them for private, for private activities, for private.
But these people, what they did, they used the drywall on the inside and they used the drywall on the outside, because like the box that nothing cannot come between this come under the ceiling, they used the drywall. So when the demons began to shake the place, the drywalls on the outside just fell down, and then the breeze. The breeze came between the zinc and the drywall. And the drywall, the entire, because where I was at with my 15-year-old daughter. And the entire kitchen, straight to living room, the entire drywall just came down. I stood there about 40 minutes watching the demon trying to take off the roof. And it just started breaking the 6x2s. Just start breaking them. It just twist them like you'd wash a rag and just break them, and then it just roll up the zinc like a mat and just went with the entire room. Now, I am appealing to the Prime Minister because I see the logo build back better and stronger. The NHT cannot be the one who are passing these houses, whoever. And I am saying this because I'm putting myself at great risk, because I know what is happening. Somebody eat a food. Somewhere somebody's eating a food. Because the only institution or organization that I can think of would have done this was Al Capone in the 30s. And everybody who studied or read about Al Capone know what type of person, what sort of institution he ran. I am appealing to the Prime Minister. The NHT cannot be the one financing along with some undesirable contractors or institutions, and then they are the one turning around and passing the houses. It cannot be.
Yeah. Here,
one
my
thing
brother.
that also like to add before you go, caller, is that we also have to remind, and I'm going to the caveat emptor, that Latin phrase, let the buyer beware. We live in Jamaica. I implore people to try and not invest their resources, whether it's a mortgage or it's cash, into properties that are constructed mainly out of drywall. You have lived here, you know what our weather patterns are. I mean, some of us buy houses, we have been shown properties that, you knock the wall inside and go pong, pong. I'm like, what is that? The man said it's drywall and it's from the US. I'm like, I live here, I need 6-inch concrete block with steel in every wall in my house. Yeah. Because sometimes I want the buyers to also be very vigilant, because many persons want to own a home. They have invested their I look at so many persons, couples take out their mortgage, and Ricardo, it was, I'm looking on and I'm in tears. They never expected their beautiful homes to be damaged. There are new homes in these schemes, and that's true.
And in closing, I'll say this, I don't have a major problem with the drywall on the inside, but what they should have done was to have locked the houses with the T-level or the plywood. Because, as I said, I've looked at about 250 houses since the hurricane. And I'm yet to see one house where the drywall was used as the ceiling and then you put zinc on top of it. Yeah. I'm yet to see one of that.
Have to leave it there, my brother. Thank you for the call and the perspectives. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
And I hope they will hear you. We're going to have to leave it there for this evening, indeed for this week. Dana Davey, our producer, thank you so very much. Andrew, Glenn Anderson, the man behind the controls. Thanks, Bugs. My colleagues in the newsroom, thank you all so much. All our callers, contributors, and your valued listeners who stayed with us this week. Thank you. My name is Ricardo Brooks.
And I'm Professor Donna Hope. Have a great weekend.
It's time